Hey everyone, my name is Spencer Terry. I'm the general manager of Fear Factory Haunted House in Salt Lake City, Utah. You are watching the 67th episode of the 27th Hour. We're going to talk about ghosts. We're going to talk about why Fear Factory is badass and one of the best haunted houses in the world. And we'll probably talk some shit too. It's going to be awesome. Hang tight. Here we go.
Welcome. You're listening to the 27th Hour with Junior
and Dre Rocket.
Get ready, strap in, and hang on.
Hey, welcome to the vlog, bud. Okay, we're on the right track. Like, so you good? You guys find the game? I don't know.
Welcome back to the show.
Indeed. How about we start this way, right here?
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Ding.
Look at it. Cheers. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, everyone.
Look at this here. Is that in the shot?
Yep.
Do the plug now.
We got this in the shot right here. Let me shout this out right here. Mountain High chai. That's what we're involving ourselves in at the moment.
This is it.
This shit's dope, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's your company.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's
a beautiful
one of many.
Beautiful. Yeah, you're a busy man.
I try. Not as busy. Look at this place. Like,
well, this is just
who has
me
time for all this.
This is just me being busy. I don't have like 20 companies, and I don't run the baddest ass haunted house in the system.
I don't know. You got a pretty badass upstairs. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Dude, let's
Pretty
talk
awesome.
about that. You're part of. How does that place rank in the history of how does where's the Fear Factory ranked in haunted houses in the nation, the world? How do they do that?
So it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
If you ask me, no.
If you ask me, it's number one.
Right? I think so.
That place, obviously, I'm heavily inspired by that place.
It's right. Like I literally feel like I'm at home.
That's
like,
where
I feel like I'm at home here. It's pretty cool.
That's where I get my ideas. I see that walking through that place changed my entire life.
That's crazy. Yeah, and thanks.
However many years ago I went there, I don't even remember. I've been going there for so long, but first time I went there, I was like, oh my God. I don't care about the haunted house. I just want to walk around. I care. I want to just see everything and don't even be bothered by scary. I just want to look at every detail.
Yep. Lights on, lights off.
I want a flashlight and be like, because I don't want to ruin the haunt, but so someday I would kill to go through that in the day and just see how beautiful that place is.
Yeah.
It changed my life, man.
It's amazing, both good and bad. Like there's things that you see and you're like, oh man, that's really how they did that. Like, because there's things that are just super simple, but then there's other things that are just highly complex.
Absolutely.
That's how it goes.
But when it's dark, it is just flawless.
Sexy, right? Like look at, same thing in here. Like
Same
you get
thing.
it.
Yeah,
lighting.
man.
It's all about lighting and you make it work.
Lighting and lack of lighting.
Right. It's the magic show.
God damn. So how does that place, is it not, there's not a nationally ranked system, like.
There is. Yeah. So you have, you've got national publications, media outlets that do, USA Today, Travel Channel, Ghost Adventures, Parade Magazine, all of those main, like they usually do like a top 10 haunted house.
Okay.
Some of them are, I'll call pay to play, where
Okay.
hey, I'm going to give you $5,000 to market me, and I got on your list. Yay. Like,
I'm number 4. Got it.
right. Yeah. But then there are others that are very genuine that are based by feedback. It's based off of
Ticket
content, sales attendance, all of those things. So you've got, BuzzFeed.com, international media. So BuzzFeed put us number 3 in the world, which is pretty awesome.
In the
Thanks,
world?
BuzzFeed. Yeah, BuzzFeed, I'll take that. So
in the world?
in the world, which
God
there's some there's some really killer attractions, and to be on that list, it's kind of like
At all.
man, thanks guys.
To be on that list at all.
Yeah, at all. Like, even to know that we're on someone's radar like that, and you think about 10 years ago, our owners bought this place and they're like, hey, I got an idea. It's this crazy, crazy ass idea. We're gonna buy an old factory and we're gonna turn it into a haunted house.
The factory was a cement factory?
It was Portland Cement Factory. And then, so here's the crazy part. So after it closes the cement factory, it was abandoned. And then it was a wooden stake factory, like
Making
vampire wooden stake factory. Weird. And then it was abandoned again because people couldn't handle the ghosts. Just kept getting creepier and creepier, and people were like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And every person that opened a business in there couldn't get it to work.
Is the address not 666? God, I love that.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Funny story. So we're going to talk about all these cool secrets on the show. So
And you don't have to if you don't wish. But
I'll tell some of them.
tell me what you
So
can.
when we open the doors, so the gate that you walk in is actually 643 West.
Okay.
The building's door, which of course is where that's how you get your address. The door is at 666 West. So the gate has the mailbox.
Because it
on
goes south.
Yeah,
towards
south and west.
yeah.
And so the post office shows up at our gate, 643, but all of our mail says 666. And they're like, I don't know where to deliver.
God, that's so fucking cool.
And so they don't want to come on property. The hell no, I'm not going in there.
Throw it through the gate.
Send a bird.
UPS over the fence.
Right. So now we've changed our mailing address to 643 because of that exact issue, but we'll be 666 all day long. Yeah.
God,
Pretty
that's
awesome.
neat.
It's so cool.
Everything about
Yeah.
that place gives me goosebumps.
It's yeah.
I
Every day I come on that property, and this is probably like people who run at the theme park. They're like you walk on the property and you're like,
I'm home.
I get to do this every day. Totally same thing for me. Like I walk in, now there's never a bad day. Like my worst day is my best day at any other job. So like I'm like, let's do this.
How long have you been involved in it? Since pretty much day one?
No. I actually was gone when they bought it. I've been around since 2016, 15. I think 6 years now. So
But
it's been
just
a lot of fun.
a few years prior to its opening then.
Exactly.
So this family purchased this building.
Yeah, so it's owned. So the majority owners are the Dunfields, the Dunfield family. And for listeners who are very familiar with Utah, if you remember the old March of Dimes haunted house that was down on what is that? By Mouth of the Camp, by I think it's by Little Cottonwood Canyon.
Okay.
That old mill, the March of Dimes haunted house was Bob Dunfield. So Bob was the chairman of this March of Dimes, and so it's his haunted house. And any of us that grew up in Utah were like, March of Dimes, like, oh shit, like that's like the really cool place. Like that's it.
Yeah.
So, and it was creepy. Like it was that old abandoned factory, and the team just knew how to do it. They knew how to do it really, really well. Bob's been haunting. Get ready for this. He's been a haunter since 1969. He's like one of 5 people in the world that are old enough that have been doing this long enough.
Damn.
So
I would love to meet that guy.
he's so cool. And then you've got him, you've got his son Rob, his daughter Cindy, and both of their partners. Rob is married to Heidi, Cindy's married to Keith, and that's the 5 of them. And they've got like this passion, just this unwielding passion to make connections and to like do cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then business gets in the way, right? Because you're like, you got to pay bills and you got to do all the stuff that's not fun. It's not sexy. It's not exciting. It's just business. And I think for a little bit it was like, oh man, like we want to do this cool stuff. We want to make this place that's unlike anything else in the world. But why do we got to do this other crap all the rest of the year? And that's where I come in. So we have a mutual friend who said, you really should go check out this place called Fear Factory. And I used to own my own haunted attraction in Iowa. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like I kind of walked away from that, you guys. Like I'm good. Like I'm totally good. Doing my own thing. I was a private consultant, making a shit ton of money. Was super happy. Not. And and I finally was like, you know what? Screw it. Like first call, second call, third call. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to go. And the guy who actually connected us is Paul Draper. I don't know if you guys know Paul Draper. So he's this, so pauldraper.com is his website, but he's like probably one of the top 150, 200 magicians in this country. So he's known, I don't even know what this award is called, but it's like a white medal or white something, but it's like a tag that you get when you're like this elite magician in Europe. He used to do magic at the Bellage, at MGM, at Luxor, like all over the place. And he travels the world doing magic. So, and he grew up at Olympus, just in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So, so we connected the dots, and he's like, "You really need to go down and meet the Dunfields." And I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm that ship has sailed. I'm done running haunts." And I walk on the property, and I was like, sold, right?
Yeah.
Same thing for you. I came on property, and I was like, "What is this place?"
Yeah.
And as soon as I started walking around, and Heidi was like, "All right, dude, sure, let's," because at this point, like, we're like speed dating. It was first date. We're like, all right, let's just order an appetizer and drinks. We'll see how this goes. So we started walking through the property, and I realized, I'm like, this is unlike any other attraction I've ever been in my life. And that day, I literally left, and I was like, I'm in. You guys tell me what you want me to do. I'm doing it. So, and I spent a good couple of years as their director, and then in 17, 18, took over as GM because I think at that point they realized, like, hey, we can do less business stuff and do more fun stuff.
Yeah.
Let's do that. And it really kind of evolved from there. And we turned from a hobby haunted house into like a full-blown corporation. Like, if we're going to do this, is a go big or go home. Here we are now. Like, you got BuzzFeed, top, number 3, USA Today, top 10, Travel Channel, top 10 in the country. The Haunted Attraction Association puts us as a top haunt in the country. You've got folks from all over. We have people that want us to cut, copy, and paste and do a brand identity franchise and move. We've got requests in Abu Dhabi, in Kuwait, in Korea.
To run something in their
like a Fear Factory 2.0
in their area,
in their hood. Yeah.
Damn.
So
are you guys? Is that an
so
idea?
cool.
Is that a?
Maybe.
We'll see. Maybe. That's some low key. Don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty stoked. So
it's
really
a lot
cool.
of it's location, right? Just walking through the gate of that place will freak you the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's right by the noisy freeway even. It's
Yeah.
so bizarre and you
Those
can't even
trains,
hear it.
Yeah.
You can't hear it.
Yep. Yeah.
You get there and you can't even see it. It's so weird.
It's kind of like coming to your place.
Yeah, it's like
Actually.
a nugget.
Yeah.
It just sits in this scary little hole.
Yep. And you're like, I don't know where I'm going. I got these tickets.
It's hard to get to.
And once you're inside,
It's so weird.
it's like this. It's like a portal, right? It's like you walk into this.
Oh,
other
it is
space.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Just
so cool.
Just the second you come to the first pillar and that big thing and it says Fear Factory and there's lighting in it and smoke coming out of it and it's cut rusty pipe and I'm like, oh my God. And the big bus is there dumping people off or whatever.
Yep, the
and,
shuttles. Yeah.
you walk through the thing. As soon as you turn the corner, there are people dicking with you right off the bat.
Yep.
You start this long journey down this corridor going southbound, headed toward the... It's so creepy from the start, man.
That's the goal. I'm so happy to hear
It's
this.
not... And I love every haunted house. I've been to every haunted house in Utah. Every single one of them.
all great.
Several times.
Yeah.
There's something about this place. It
I
is
agree.
wrong from
Yep.
the start.
I agree.
I'll
take that.
Fucking wrong.
And our interview's done. All right. This has been fun. Have a good night.
It's so cool, man.
Thank you.
It's not theatrical at all. It's very real. You can feel there's something off as you come and it's just weird and it's quiet.
Yep.
But it's so loud inside and there's so many things. It's so weird how it works. I just could talk. It just freaks me out. I'm such a fan of that place. You have no idea.
Our tech team would be so happy. I can't wait to tell them all this.
And
Because we spend so much just articulated detail time that a lot of people think we're overthinking it.
No.
But you get it. Like, you get the story we're trying to tell.
Oh, it is infatuatingly cool.
Cool.
And you do. It's just from turning into the gate, bro. The way to get there is scary. The where you park is scary.
There's
There's no parking lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything from the start is like, what in the fuck are we doing?
Yes.
This is scary.
Yep.
You're in this weird alley to park, or you're on the other street, and you got to walk there, and it's just creepy.
The
man.
idea is everything you do from the moment you decide to buy a ticket, it should be questioned.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
There's nobody helping you get there.
Yeah.
There's no flagging in and park here, and there's these guys with sticks and glowing. Get here, and we will fuck with you. And you get there, and it's beautiful. It is the most well-done thing I've ever seen in my life. And I know haunts, man, as a customer. And I'm just infatuated. I schoolgirl out about it so bad. And as you come in, and it's so loud, but you can't hear anything. When you're in there, some of that stuff is so loud.
Yeah.
And so, like, the electricity room or whatever, that thing is scary. You can't hear any of that out there. You can't hear people screaming.
Yep.
You can't hear. It's just so weird. And you come around, and then you walk through. So you go around south. You walk over that grate.
Yeah.
Looking down into whatever the hell that is.
Torture. That's our torture chamber.
That's so scary.
That is a live acting space. So, like, that's one of the areas because we're like,
You're not even there yet. You're not even close to the
like
gate.
You're coming to a haunt. We want you to hear some scares, but not all of them. And so you walk across and you're like, oh, this is really fun. And then all of a sudden someone screams bloody murder below your feet. And you're like, what the hell?
But then
Where
you
am
stop
I?
and there's somebody coming out of a thing jumping. And you're like,
Jumping
what
out
is
the tower.
going on around here?
Yeah.
And then you keep going. There's a dude on a zip line hauling ass above your head. And it's like a 3-mile walk just to get into the place.
Feels like it. Yeah, it is a long walk. It's a big place.
It is so cool, man. You guys do such an incredible job.
Thanks.
My hat is
Thank
so off to that. Like, I would pay the ungodly amounts of money to see that. I just would.
Cool.
And I just love that it's so well thought out. And you get in and you walk and come into the big arena, whatever it's called, and it's
The graveyard, like our queue.
the graveyard,
Yeah,
and all the
graveyard.
rust and oh
Yeah.
my God, that place is beautiful.
Yep.
So, man, anyway, I'm just tripping on it.
It's a lot of fun.
Um,
So much fun. And a lot
How-
of people, like, as a customer, it's awesome.
yeah.
Have you ever scared? I mean, obviously, you do some Halloween, right? So you
Oh,
like Michael
yeah.
Myers. So like, why the hell not? So what's better for you? Is it better to go through as a customer, or is it better to scare the shit out of someone?
I would love to scare somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
See, isn't that funny? Like, and that's the cool part, because some people, like, there's people that are like, I would never set foot in your haunted house to save my life. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. Like,
That's
I
what you
get it.
want.
Right? Because I want that mystique, right?
Oh, it's creepy.
But my fun game I play with them is, I'm like, all right, man, I'll make you a deal. Come act for a night, just one night. Because what happens is you tip the tables of power, and now all of a sudden, instead of being scared half to death, you are now the one doing the scaring, and it is this adrenaline psychology trip, because people flip and they realize, like, holy crap, what else am I afraid of that I can switch? Like, what else can I do? It's pretty cool. So a lot of times it's the customer side is really fun to do, but the scaring side is a whole other beast. It's like a drug.
Oh, dude.
It's like a drug.
If I was involved in that thing, my life would be over. I know it would. Because there's something about haunted houses. I'm in fact, you can tell. Look at my
Yeah.
front yard. When you go in that front yard,
It's so sexy. I was like, I got out of my car.
if I had
put my
enough money,
phone,
I would like,
go to town.
it would be, I would have a haunt in my backyard. It would be everything, but there's a lot more to it with neighbors and all that
I
shit.
know, right? That's the danger part. This is where haunting started. I mean, that's how my haunted house started when I was in Iowa. I was like, let's just do this in our yard. I had owned about an acre, and I was like, let's just do this. Like, let's really do this. An 1800s Victorian mansion. It was beautiful, and out in the middle of nowhere in rural Iowa. And so we were like, let's just do this. And of course, one thing led to another, and by year 2, it was like, let's do this. Like, let's actually full blown. And we were number 1 in the state of Iowa for 4 years.
Why'd you quit doing it?
We moved. My wife's a doctor, chemist, pharmacist. She's killer.
Wow.
And she's way smart and makes the rest of us look bad. So, hooray for the women in our
We're
lives.
sitting here and doing a podcast.
Yeah,
Yay.
right. Yay. Good job,
Mom,
honey.
thanks, honey, for making all the money. I appreciate this.
So she was accepted to med school, and then later
At
we
the
went
U,
to,
probably?
She was actually at University of Nebraska Medical Center, which is where we were in Omaha, and then went to Boston for Brigham and Women's, the Harvard Med affiliate there.
Damn.
So she did her thing, and we literally sold it for $1, and we're like, all right, here we go. So we gave, all the supplies and stuff. We sold a little bit of it, but we gave the nonprofit away and just pretty much said, this is your baby now. Please take good care of it. And they ran it for a number of years before they just couldn't run it anymore. And now it no longer exists. They sold everything out. But for the years, like, I bet they probably made $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And that's all going back to youth activities and engagement in a small town of 1,200 people. There's not even a stoplight in this place. So it's kind of cool. Just a fun way to do it.
How many employees does the Fear Factory have? Is it it probably fluctuates quite dramatically, I would
So
imagine.
yeah, year round, we've got about 12 to 13 full time, and they're cranking stuff out. Our build team, our tech team, we have our own production shop, so we're making masks, weapons, prosthetics. It's all happening literally 24 hours a day. We meet we have meetings. We have our owners meeting every single Monday. Like, it's full on company. And then once we get closer to July, August, we ramp up recruiting. Like right now, I think we're at 340 employees.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a lot to manage. So you have to know HR. You've got to know company operations and policy procedure. 'Cause
There's that many people involved in
Yeah.
that place?
yeah, who knew? Yeah, because we have, on average, we have 120 actors plus probably 20 to 40 front of house team. So you're looking at least 150 per night, and you need to have usually 3 times that amount to make sure you can do what you got to do on a seasonal event. Yeah,
Dude, I had no idea it was that.
it's huge.
Wow. Even the security You have great security.
Oh, thanks.
They're everywhere. You can see them. They'll pop in. You can see them.
Yeah.
They make themselves very known. They're very
Yep.
present.
We play that game.
They're wearing the radios. You can tell they're not fucking around. They're like, hey, man,
Yep.
wrong way. You need to go this way. Very well presented that way even. It's like you feel safe
That's
and
the goal.
scared to fucking death
Yes.
otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I want out of here now. He's like, keep going. I'm like, no, I'm done. Like, this is crazy. He's like, keep
going.
I'm
That's
like,
right.
I'm not going through that door.
Yeah. Yep.
He's like, you're going through that door. I'm like, I'm not kidding. Look at me. I want out of here.
Right.
He's like, no, man, go through the door.
It's the
And
best
by
part.
the way, what's your name? I'm like, fuck, here we go. Here we go. Man, that place gives me goosebumps. It is so well done. Props to all of you people that put in that much work.
It's an amazing team. Like it is such the definition of one person can't do it all. Like you have to have a team. It's got to kick ass. You need to have the right people in the right place with the right expertise to do what needs to get done. I mean, there are plenty of companies I've worked in that doesn't fly, and it shows. You got to have a really good team.
So you build a culture around 12 to 13 of the most key people that can be, and you build this beautiful culture.
Yep.
And this management team that will see anything and everything through from the top to the bottom, and then
Yes.
it is time to recruit. I'd imagine you get returning employees. I would imagine.
Yep.
Like, I'll be there next year. I'm still going to be that guy.
Absolutely.
You're still going to be chainsaw guy number 47. You're still going to be. You guys changed the
Who told
haunt.
you we had 47 chainsaws?
I don't even know. Am I close?
Yeah.
Fuck them chainsaws, by the way.
They're awesome.
And they're real. You can smell them. I'm not
Yep.
an idiot, bro.
Nope. There's 3 of them. We weld our own blades. Like it is as good as it gets out there.
You can smell
Yeah.
the fuel.
Yeah.
It is not this battery pack running bullshit rubber thing. It's a fucking chainsaw.
Yep.
It sounds like a 412 steel, and you are scared to death to even get near a 416, maybe 3-foot bar. I don't even know. I'm infatuated with that place, man. I truly am. So that
It's
place
cool.
is beautiful from the start to the end. It is just one of the most incredible things. And like how far, do you guys know how far it is of a walk to get through it? How
3/4 of a mile. Literally I think it's like 6 feet
and it
3/4 of a
it
mile.
seems as if it takes
forever.
fucking 6 days to get
Yeah.
through this thing.
Yeah.
But what is it? About an hour maybe
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
of
45 to 55,
absolute
depending
terror.
on depending on what your speed is, how far. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into play of time.
You guys do an
But
incredible
yes.
job. I'm just tooting your horn for days. I'm sorry,
Thanks.
but I
No,
believe it. I believe
appreciate
it. Of keeping there's one thing that turns me off at every haunt, whatever they would be. What do we call these things?
Haunts.
An attraction.
Yeah, yeah.
Too many people in one spot. It's ridiculous. I'm there to get freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it, man. I love to be alone. I would like to go through it completely alone
Mm-hmm.
and just mess with me the whole time. And you get in there and there's 40 people in the same thing and they're going through in this line. And God, I hate that.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
We hate that too.
And you don't do that. You guys are
We try.
very, very good at keeping people separated.
Thanks.
Um,
We try.
and then-
Sometimes we screw up, but it happens.
Well, and then there's another thing too, where you jerk people away and hide them in a room. Fuck all that. That's ridiculous. I love how you guys do it. I think it's great. I don't think it's cool to hide family members and grab somebody and take them into a room. I've never had that happen there. I don't know if it happens, but
it
I
does. You can do it.
and I don't like that.
Yep.
I would rather just go with my little few people, enjoy this thing, and not be removed from my family. That would totally get me defensively scared,
Yes.
where I would do harm. I would, if I say like, man, you need to stop. It needs to stop.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna grab somebody.
And we train our team like they have to know the difference. Like there is a line, right? Like we've all got our line.
Absolutely.
So, and that's part of when we do abduction. That's part of it, and we do it
You
very.
so you guys do that?
we do it, but there's if I were to give you a percentage, it's like 30%. There's some haunted houses that do 100%. Like they're gonna black bag you. They're gonna take you out, put your hood on, take you away from your group, and you're not gonna see your group for 20 minutes. It's not why you can't. It's not why you came to an attraction with your group, right?
Right.
And some people dig it, like that's their thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And at Fear Factory, we're like, cool, we're gonna do a little bit of that.
But they signed something
Totally.
to say they want that. Right?
Everyone has to sign a waiver to come on the property, no matter what. Even the churro guy has to sign a waiver. Because I don't. At that point, I'm like, if you're gonna be on our property, like you got to make sure you're okay.
Look, you're a 666, bro. So
Right. Anything can happen. Here. Sign that waiver.
So when you sign that waiver, that means you're allowing this to happen. You say, I want to be, or is it just something that could happen to anybody?
So on property, so just to come on the property, you sign a waiver. But then if you want to get touched, or if you want to this part of the abduction, then you can actually upgrade to the touch of fear. It's an extra $4. It's not a huge deal. But it's also because we don't, again, it's like 20%, 30%. You can go to another haunted house. There's some really great ones. Castle and Asylum, we'll plug them. They both do a killer job on touch and engagement with between their actors and their customers. For us, it's not really we know what we're good at. We're going to stick to that.
Please do, because you are so good at it.
Thanks.
There's the animatronic thing with computers, and I respect that with my whole heart. Nightmare on 13th, unbelievably well done.
Yep.
But it's more of a theatrical show.
Totally.
And he is a master of it.
Yeah. Jimmy,
absolute master.
Yes.
But yours is different.
Yep.
It is people.
And that's what's fun. Like,
and it is
haunted
real.
house.
And
Yeah.
it gives me goosebumps. I get goosebumps when I talk and when I love things.
I
Right?
love it.
So they're very different. But
Yes.
they're both well respected in my opinion. Those are my
Totally.
two favorite places to go.
Hmm.
But yours is just, God, it's real. It's so real.
Yeah.
And I love how it's just real. It's an interaction. The electrical room. I'm a lineman by trade. I've now stopped, but I did that for 25 years.
Wow.
I know electricity. Awesome. I know it well. I know the sound. I know the smell.
Mm-hmm.
I know the thing. And when I go in that room and God, I don't even know what you're doing. I don't even have a clue how that works.
Yeah.
I would love to know.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, that is scary real to me. And when I go in there, I'm like, there's no way. And you have a 345 looking circuit breaker insulator in there that just jolts this unbelievable blue arc out of it and these noises. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You can smell the arc.
Yep. All of it.
How much can you talk about that?
It's all sensory, right? Like at the end of the day, you're trying to tell a story in a way that's safe. So
God, that piece of that is so intense to me.
yeah. So for the listeners that
Very
don't know,
well done.
so you'll be on the second floor of a 6-story tower. The tower was built in the 1800s. Not gonna lie, it's sketchy as hell.
Oh, totally.
And
You can see through the steps
Yeah.
walking. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Just being scared of heights. Don't go there.
Yeah, exactly. Do not come. I mean, the tower was built. The best way to think of it, like the tower was built before OSHA was a thing. Like that should give you an idea. So,
And you've since made it to where it's safe enough.
It's now safe and it's good. It's kosher.
But it's
So
fucking scary.
right.
Anyway.
So then you come from the basement. You come from this place where these grinders used to grind up limestone, which is where one of the guys actually died. He like literally got ground up in this machine. You go up the stairs right away. From there, you're on level 1 of the tower. You're going to go up to the second level on the tower. You're currently about 35 feet up in the air. And this is that room. So, and there's an electrical chair, and you can't even see it when you're coming up because it's dark. Like the room's dark. We want it to be a surprise. We don't want people to be like, oh, yeah, this is that one. So we want people to kind of get a jolt. No pun intended.
Yeah, no
Get a
pun
jolt out
intended.
of it.
No pun intended.
So then they come in, electric chair goes off, and it's actually controlled. So let's talk about some secrets. So
Okay.
when you're sitting in the chair, when you're sitting in your, I'll make sure my microphone's close. So when you're sitting in the chair, they've got their hands, right? Like, so there's triggers. There's actually little doorbells. And if you look close, you'll see them. There's doorbells on both sides. And when both of those are triggered, one is going to trigger the arc. The other one's going to trigger the light and sound. So when that happens, obviously the light show goes off. Yeah, it's really fun. A lot of people think that the actor, this is why we train so well on our actors, is because most people think that the person in the chair is fake.
That's a real guy?
Real guy. Dead serious. Every night.
Because he freaks out. God, he's like,
Kills it. And every year we usually
I thought it was a dummy, dude.
every year we'll try and like rotate a different person because it is such an exhausting role. Like you think about to do
He
that.
freaks
Do that 1,000 times every single night.
the
like,
fuck out. He's
So he's
screaming
really-
and jerking and no, I didn't know that was a real guy.
So what's really cool is to come on a slow night. I'm not even going to tell you what he does on a slow night, but just come on a slow night because there's an extra part that you don't usually get to see when it's busy on like a Friday or Saturday.
he gets up.
I'm not going to tell
He
you.
gets up. I know he. God damn it.
He's going to chase you up the stairs.
God.
Hell yeah.
Damn it.
So what's also
Because I
happening?
thought it was a fake dude.
No.
Because they sell those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen him. That's it. Okay, so that's a real
Yeah.
guy. I'm sorry.
Real
I'm
dude.
fangirling here bad.
So then what's also happening is what you can feel on your feet, right?
oh,
so
yeah.
So the entire floor is metal, solid metal, thick gauge, just like it would have been, in the 1800s. Underneath that are these vibrators. We call them knockers, but it literally is just a brrrr.
Shaking the shit out of
But
everything.
There's several of them. So when you're walking on that path and you see the lights, you hear the audio, and you're like, shit, like this dude's getting and then you can feel it literally going through your body.
You can
these
smell
vibrations,
it.
and then we add the smell. So one of the things,
it's so intense.
so one of the cool things about memory, and most people don't know this, but there is, when it comes to psychology, what's the first thing that people remember? Anyone know?
Scent.
Smell.
Scent
Always
is the
first.
strongest thing tied to memory. Yes.
Always.
And the more things you trigger in sensory,
Yes.
the more memorable it will be.
So you better believe every single area of our haunt has its own smell.
I'm fully aware of it.
So that's the smell. Like it's literally called burning body. I kid you not. And all it is it's a mix between a scent that's called electricity and a scent called burning body. And we mix them together. We let that sucker fly. And when you smell it, right?
Dude, it's
you remember.
insanity.
Yeah. And that's the
Because electric
you wanna tell that
arc
story.
has a scent.
Yeah,
I'm a
very
lineman.
unique.
I'm a lineman. I know this
Yeah.
scent.
That's it.
And it's so real. You can smell it. And I'm like, how the fuck do they do this? I just want to stand still in there. I don't even want to be messed with. I just want to feel all of it, bro.
It's like going to Disney. Like sometimes you go to Disney and then afterwards you're like, oh,
I want to know more.
I want to know. Like, I want to go in the tunnel. Like I want to, all that cool stuff. Yeah.
God, I'm infatuated with that building.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I can
How
tell.
is that?
I can
How is
tell.
that arc? Can we go there at all? How's that arc created? That is the most intensely huge
Yeah.
arc. You don't want to talk about it. You
Can't
can't
tell
talk.
you.
Okay. When I go there, can we talk about it?
Yeah,
I would
maybe-
never talk about it.
maybe
I'll
off the
sign a
air.
waiver to never speak of it.
Good news you already have.
That is,
Yeah.
you guys, it's so beautiful.
Thanks. It is cool. It is cool.
I'm infatuated with it.
There was something that you told me. I don't know if you could touch on it. So I'm gonna
Okay.
just say sprinkler system.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Oh my gosh, the suppression system is like a beast. So,
If a fire happens,
if and when, at some point, like it's, that's wood.
it is wood.
So the idea is that when the owners bought the property, the city did not want a haunted house there. And of course it makes sense. It's been like this eyesore for 20, 30, 40
It's
years.
fallen
It's been
apart.
abandoned. Like it's this questionable building. Anybody that grew up in Rose Park or Glendale is like, oh, there's a scary building.
The big
So-
stacks, you can see them from everywhere.
Everywhere. And you pass it on I-15. So it's kind of an eyesore. And so the idea is that, this is just going to be this junkyard for now the rest of eternity. So the purchase happened. And then came the extra millions of dollars in hoop jumping, essentially. And one of those hoops was the suppression system. So most haunted houses under fire code, under amusement code, is that you have to have X number of, there's a certain square footage, there's math, and there's a whole bunch of crap that comes. Well, it's not crap. It's good because it saves our
Yeah,
lives.
sure.
But it's crap when you got to jump through those hoops.
Yeah.
And especially when you weren't planning on it. So what most folks don't know is this is how safe you are at Fear Factory, is the suppression system. So the suppression system is all the sprinklers, right? You got sprinklers all over, and we have both a wet system and a dry system. So wet means it's live. There's actually water inside. The dry system means that it's not. So when an alarm will trigger, it'll flush the system with water. Sprinklers will pop, boom, it'll spray out 10 feet. Our fire marshal, who inspects us every year, almost every 6 months, really, told us this story once, and he was like, I don't understand why you guys are so, like this place is like seriously like over suppressed. And we told him the story, and we're like, well, 10 years ago, and blah, 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 blah. Come to find out, so our sprinkling system is better than LDS Hospital. And when the fire marshal comes through, every single time they're like, they see, because they inspect every single suppression system in the entire state. And they've got their own little pockets that they do their own inspections for. It's been really cool. So there's so much suppression in there that if there's a haunted house where you're going to be safe, it's going to be there, which is kind of cool.
That's way cool. Isn't
Yeah.
it? You probably put lots of money toward it, I would imagine, because there was nothing there, I would
A
imagine.
lot. There was nothing.
You had to pipe it
All of it. All of it. Every square inch of the property.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a big place.
How many square feet is it? Do you have
Um,
that? Is that there? Do you have that?
Once upon a time, I heard 90,000.
Oh my God.
That sounds about right. If you were to take all the
It's
square
like 2
footage-
square acres of just acreage or so, right? Between the 2 roads.
Yeah,
And
2.5. 2.5 acres.
Okay, I was close. 2.5 acres. Do you guys own across the track, that other building?
Thank goodness, no.
What the hell is that creepy ass thing?
Guess what? They still make cement there. Every morning, 9 a.m., you can drive in that area and you'll hear them grinding cement. They actually ship it in. They bring it in, grind it, mix it, and they put them in these gray train cars. Every couple of days, the train cars come in and out.
So the shit stuck to everything is real.
It's real. And trust me, like our animatronics,
You
like,
like,
oh my gosh,
love it but hate it.
It ruins our entire. Imagine every year like getting like a sandstorm in here.
Oh, it's nasty shit.
Suck.
Concrete dust is
Yep.
nasty.
And if you got any little amount of grease on any of those hinges, like it just
and then
sucks.
it'll rain and fuck city. Everything's
Yeah.
ruined.
It's yeah. So we spend. This is part of why we have a team on 24 hours a day at this point. Like we literally all year long, we have to keep up with that.
Blowing that away and
Yep.
getting it off of shit.
Yep, all of it. There's a lot of maintenance that has to happen.
What's the badass guy right as you walk in that has the pitchfork and he's got that? What the hell is that thing?
Dude, right? So I'll tell you a secret. His name's Mondo.
He's huge.
He has his own name. So he used to be. I was looking for my phone because I was going to show you a picture. So
you hit it right
he
there.
used to be. It's
By the TV.
it's good. I'll show you in a minute.
Drake can
We'll show
type it
you
in if it's something you can look up.
I don't know where it is on publicly. But he used to be down in Torture. So that area where you walk over and you can see the people down there.
Yeah.
So he used to be literally right there. And he like has his pitchfork and because he used to have like an old body and the body was hanging from it.
Yeah.
And now the dude's just up there kicking because we're like, yeah, you know what? Let's put him to use. We haven't used him for 3 or 4 years. And then finally one day we're like, all right, let's dust this guy off and put some new hinges on him, did some new stuff. And we're like, let's bring him back to life. So
Is he
it's been pretty fun.
is he air ran? Is he run by
All pneumatic. All of it.
pneumatics?
Yeah. Yeah. So the entire, in fact, I asked our tech team to work on it as I would love to know, I don't know this yet, but I want to know how many miles of pneumatic airline hose are on our property. I would bet it's probably close to 10,
How many compressors?
5.
Huge.
And they are massive, like as big as a car.
You can't hear them.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Or if you added them part of the haunt, are they? Yeah.
So in clowns, it's actually part of the clown section.
In
like,
the outdoor.
you'll hear it humming, but
Mhm.
everywhere else, they're all insulated rooms. All of them. Yeah.
God, I want to come see it so bad. You have no clue how bad I want to see this.
We'll make it happen. Like
I would be
it's
honored.
so much fun.
I
it's so
really,
much
really
fun.
would love to go there in the day and just.
Hopefully, I won't pop the bubble and be like, all right, well, that was cool, and now it sucked.
No, because I'm
All right.
look at my hands. I create things as well, and I love to see how they're created, and I have so much more respect for. Oh my God, look at that! You know what I mean? How I build things, so I love to understand how they're built,
Yeah.
and then I have 5,000 times the respect for it.
True.
I really,
Agreed.
as a creator, you know, and there's nothing I would ever try to. You can't. It's not wouldn't take anything from it or duplicate it. It's not like that. It's like understanding it is so much more rich of an experience for me. Like I get it, man.
Yeah.
That is so creepy.
You're more intimate with it now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
I think you can feel it bleeding out of my soul.
Totally.
Like I'm infatuated with that place.
We actually love. In fact, there's it's the Vernal Haunted Hotel, I think is what they're called. But it's this hotel in Vernal. It's been abandoned for a long time.
Oh, I've never been there.
It's a mind trip. Go out there.
There's a haunted house in Vernal.
In Vernal, and it's literally like this old hotel. I'll show you pictures after we're done. But they were like, hey, can you come out and like give us some tips? Yeah, see if you can pull it up. And like long hallways. Like we're talking right out of the spookiest movie you can find. Like carpet still from the 70s. Like it is a question. Like I walked
could
into that
smell
building and I was like, I am not safe in this building. Like I am not
there
safe.
it is.
It's creepy. It's disgusting. And so this family bought it. And they run this it's all volunteer. Like it's like my old haunt in Iowa. Like we were all volunteer, all nonprofit. Nobody made a penny. So they raise money for a bunch of different things. But they called
charity
us.
event. Look at that. Says it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
They called you and said what?
They called and just said, "Hey, we want to like, can you come just give us some tips?" And they come to our property probably 4 or 5 times a season. So we're like, sure, like come on, we'll come out there one time. So I drove out there and walked through the entire place, of course, while it was not in operation. We talked about a million things. In fact, the room, our last room, that concussion chamber with the fog
God
in there.
Damn that room.
So they tried to copy it, and they were like, well, do you mind, like, if we, like, can we learn how we did it? Like, how did you guys do it? And I called the guys, Keith, one of our owners, and Talis, our tech director, and was like, guys, so you have someone fangirling, and they want to build something you built, and they're like, yeah, because they
It's
love
honored.
it.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
Like somebody
heck
copying
yeah.
my tattoo work. I'm honored by that.
Right.
I'm like, there's no copyright.
Thank you very much.
I'm flattered you like it.
Yes. Yes. So same thing. So that's part of the fun is just like getting, it's why we love showing. It's why we have a behind the sets and streams tour now, is because people love getting to see the magic. And I think for the folks that were, if you're going to pay $180 to come see a backstage tour, you damn well are going to enjoy it. You're going to love it, and it's going to mean a lot to you.
I'm doing it.
So, well, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. But then,
I'm so all over that.
That way you you really get to actually understand it, and you're immersed into that space even more about what
Absolutely.
it takes to run that beast.
And it would make me want to come back even more and more and more and just keep enjoying it.
Yeah.
How often do you guys add and subtract and do, obviously with different props for days, but how often is it you do something dramatic and be like,
each year.
that room's gone, now it's this, and it was a $8 million fix, or you know what I mean, a crazy amount of money to undo or do something.
Yeah.
Is that
so
often?
Every year. So every year, so we just did $100,000 remodel just recently, just for this year. Each year,
$100,000 remodel.
100K. It's our remodel. It's not even a build. Builds are horribly expensive. We actually, so 2 years ago, we rebuilt all of our what we call our center silo. So if you were to look at aerial, if you were to look at the 3 silos, there's actually this T in the middle of those 3 silos, and we kind of turned that into a little area. That's the preface before you walk into the south silo. So we rebuilt that area and the south silo, literally tore it completely bare bones, and started from scratch again. There was dirt that was probably in there for I don't know how many hundreds of years, and we tore it all out of it. We actually had to pickaxe the dirt out because it was that compact. Like it's just old, old. So, but when we did that, that was a huge renovation as well. But that was completely built from scratch. Thank goodness we did it before wood prices went up.
Oh yeah.
So this last one was the Vampire Manor. So this Vampire Manor.
Oh yeah.
Is like it's great. It's beautiful. It's sexy. A lot of that we actually imported. So Bob, that we were talking about earlier. So Bob used to own Custom Interior Designs. He was making and designing homes for million and billionaires and just doing some really great stuff. And so he had all these just cool props. Like when you come down the stairs from the infirmary, from the hospital ward, touch the door to your right. And both of those huge, massive gates, they're actually from Tibet. They are an old fortress metal gate.
Yeah, I gotta come see that.
You would love it because it's like, it's this, like it's all of this.
Freaking out.
So, and they're real. And there's like these little doors that open up because that's where they used to shoot arrows out of. Like, it's cool. It's the coolest stuff.
I love it.
So we took that entire manor and we busted it all up. We broke it all. We punched holes through the walls, and we really wanted it to be immersive, like 1,000%. I just went
Real.
somewhere new. And so before, the vampires were like, yeah, it's this beautiful 16th century, super sexy. We took a lot of like wooden panels from old gentlemen's clubs in Europe and like really just, I mean, it's just the detail. That's, people get married in this area. Like they get married in there. We have videos, films that are shot there. So we ruined all of it. Tore it all up.
God damn.
And the reason why is because the story we wanted to tell for our 10-year anniversary is that even though we've been here for 10 years, we've gone through hell and back. And there's been this battle that's been happening at the factory between these vampires and these now like draconian kind of weird creatures. And the creatures busted into this old vampire coven, and they're trying to do all this stuff, and they're trying to take over. And the vampires have barricaded themselves in this once beautiful old Victorian manor, like this coven. And now it's like this it's ugly.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because now you got to like duck underneath columns that have fallen over, and where there
it's
used to be like a
fucking
hallway, there's like chairs barricaded and stacked up now, so you have to go through a wall to go somewhere else, and
there's people dangling from all of it, and
all of it.
they're coming out.
Yeah.
It's just, dude.
So that was our remodel, and that was just so every year we do one remodel, and then we always do like a photo op, like some kind of really cool, something that people can see that they can take away. And that's part of it. So so this year it's an upside down room. So literally like you walk into this photo bay and everything in the room is upside down. So imagine
Oh my God.
this, right?
Flipped.
So the whole thing had to be built. So there's even like a skeleton. It's a you may be able to find them.
And everything's
They're out
like
right now.
welded or glued or fixed where it's just
Yeah.
fucks with your head.
So if you hashtag Fear Factory SLC, you'll probably pull them all up. But so like this skeleton, and it's like this doctor's office. So the doctor's table, which weighs 150 pounds, you better believe that was welded to the ceiling. The X-ray, like the X-ray machine, this X-ray machine has got to be.
It's real.
Yeah, real. It's real. So same thing. Like you can't bolt that to it. Like you got it. So we welded that in. So they built this entire upside down room, and I'll have to find it. And even like the chain that's holding the skeleton had to be solidified. Like we had to weld it.
Weld
but then
each link.
we had to but it had to be perfect because it had to look like gravity had pulled it straight.
Right.
So we had to like rework it all and silicone it, make it nice, because then you take the entire picture, you take it and then you rotate it upside down, and it literally looks like you're like, if you're laying on the floor, it actually looks like you're like this poltergeist, like you're like a ghost floating on the ceiling. And
God, I
cool.
want to see it.
It's so much fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
You
can
guys-
you find it? If not, I'll grab my phone because I took a shot of it.
Grab your phone.
Hang
Just grab
on.
your phone.
Not the
Oh, I
not the head.
fucking love this goddamn place with my soul. You have no idea. She knows. My wife knows. All I do is think about that place. It's ridiculous.
So much fun. Hang on, I'm gonna put these back on.
Do
You guys
it.
can't hear us. Can you? All right, good.
Yeah, they can hear us just talking.
Chatting
talking.
away.
Yeah.
Wow, look, it's 2 a.m. No. Let's see.
What'd you say that for?
Where's this photo?
Is it that
'Cause
late?
We're having that much fun.
Is it that late?
No. Not even close. We got
Right.
so much time.
Yeah, please tell me when it's time to go because
I'm good.
I'm freaking the fuck out.
I'm
Right.
good. We're just chilling.
This is by far one of my favorite things is this episode. I love this stuff.
It's a lot of fun. It's fun to be here.
You can look around you, man. It bleeds from me. I just love it. I love that decor. I love that.
Yeah.
I love everything about that place.
There's one. Where are these at? So this is my problem. My problem.
You probably have too many pictures.
The other day, I saw this guy, and he like scrolled through his photos, and it went through like 6 months, and I'm like, bloody hell, dude! Like that's like 2 weeks. That's a week for me. Like I take way
Are you in it?
too many.
Are
photos.
you just doing you in there?
Oh,
No, you can't say that.
what?
You can't tell me, can you?
What?
Are you scaring people?
Every night. Oh yeah, every night.
You're dressed up in that bitch?
I can't dress up because this is what I look like when I'm operating. But no, I wish but I don't dress up. But I don't need to. Like there's plenty of dark corners. Like sometimes you stand there and just like
you just stand there.
you don't have to say anything.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck no, you
Because people
don't.
are like,
It's
"Are you
even
really-"
worse.
Oh, you moved. Yeah.
It's even worse.
Yep. Yeah. That's
And
the
the
fun part.
unbelievable
That's how I feel when I seen that big old guy right here.
Mike.
No,
Just-
the other dude.
on the corner, right? Yeah.
What dude? Oh, the
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you this place when we go out in the dark. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Because when you
Can't
got
wait.
here, it was light, and now it's dark, and everything's on timers and lit. And
Oh, really?
I don't have fog going yet. We do that later, but it's all plumbed to
Can't wait.
fog and music, and I have crazy music going out there.
Really?
I don't have all the
Do you do the music too?
yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Of course you do. I don't know why. Shut up, Spencer. Why'd you even ask that?
We
question?
I have just low ambient, just creepy. Paul Booth's one of my heroes. He's a tattooer from New York, and he makes his own ambient, low, just dark. It's called dark ambient music.
Okay.
And I just
What's this guy's name?
Paul Booth.
All right.
He's one of the best tattooers that's ever walked this planet.
Wow. Okay.
And I play his music just on a low speaker out there with hella bass, and I have a different thing doing crow sounds, crows kaying, and then there's shit creaking, but I do that just for Halloween night. I don't do it every night, but this house will get, I'm just talking about my dumb shit while you're looking.
Yeah.
But we'll get 50, 60 cars a night just swooping through here,
bet.
looking pictures.
How many trick-or-treaters did you get?
Hundreds.
Okay, I'm so jealous.
Last year, there's probably 300 people.
So jealous.
God, look at that.
So jealous. I get like 75 trick-or-treaters, and I'm like,
Wait, so
right?
you're
It makes you think twice.
so you're standing on the floor.
So I'm actually laying on the floor,
So if I flip it, it'll flip though.
It'll
Huh?
Yeah. You want to lock it for you so you can kind of see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Before.
Lock it. I want to see that. So lock because that looks normal.
Right. So that's the idea. Like if it doesn't look normal, it's not real. Right. Like
So
that's
when
the
you
idea.
when you so I want to see it upside down. So when you walk in there,
There you go. That's it.
that's what it looks like when you walk in there.
The room looks just like that.
Fucks with your head for sure.
Yep. That's the idea. That's the idea.
Oh, I bet it makes you so sick.
In our tech team, like the fact that they just sit around. I mean, you should see like the idea of where this concept came from
Can
was
we
just
look at it?
sketched on was just sketched on a napkin. They literally were like, they probably went to like, I don't know, they went to a barbecue place and they were like, hey, let's sketch this out. And then to see how it turned out. And if you zoom in, I mean, you got to really see it in person. Every single detail is covered in that. From the rust on the walls to like nasty, rusty, like tools that are on that bed. The x-rays, they're all real. Like even the certificates are like nasty and kind of corroded. Every detail.
So where do you walk? Is that the door you walk out of? That's right there?
So that's one of 6 photo bays. So when you come on property, you've got all these like little photo bays or selfie stations.
Okay.
That's one of them.
So that's just somewhere you go in and take pictures.
Yes.
It's not a haunt,
Nope.
part of the haunt.
Yeah.
It's an extra.
So yeah, exactly. Just for the fun of it. So the cool thing about this behind the scenes tour though is that we actually take photos inside the attraction. So where there's never photos ever allowed, that way they'll post it and be like, hey. And then of course everybody else, it's fans, and they're like, the hell did you get that photo from? Like, you're not supposed to have that photo.
Yeah, I would covet that with my heart. I would guard them secrets. You have no idea.
Love it.
To know them is more powerful to me than to not. I would hold them so dear. I'm that guy. I'd be like,
love it.
I know it all and you don't. So enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I would just love to be part of it, man. I just, that place is so fucking amazing, man.
As
we
cool.
walk out of that, the last thing I remember walking out of that, the sound deprivation, the light. Can we talk about that?
Sure.
That is the most intense
Yeah.
thing. I don't even know how to explain what that does to your brain. It is everything in haunts is so dark,
Mm-hmm.
it's so ambient and scary and almost quiet and people jumping and jerking, whatever the hell. This is 180 degrees flopped where it's
Exactly.
pure bright, the brightest light you've ever seen, but you can't see shit.
Nope.
'Cause there's so much fog,
Yeah.
but it's so bright. And so tell us about that.
Yeah.
Walk me through that. 'Cause I'm just blabbing.
So it's nicknamed the decontamination chamber. What it really is a concussion chamber. So essentially you've got sound within sound within sound, and that pressure, as that pressure is moving, we created it in a steel space to where the walls, a lot of people think it's a cylinder, but it's not, it's a square, because we wanted sound to bounce off of as many angles as possible. If it was a cylinder, it's going to make a different effect, and that's not what we wanted. So you've got this square, all steel, and as you walk through it, there's this massive, massive bass. The idea is that as you walk into the space immediately, so you've been walking through what's called scrapyard. So this is like these nasty old humans that have barricaded themselves with a bunch of rusty cool stuff, and they bleed oil out of their orifices. Pretty nasty stuff.
God, I love it.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
love it.
beautiful, beautiful thing.
It is.
So, so as you're walking through this last zone, then it's kind of like you've been infected by this same thing. So you've got to decontaminate. So as you go through it, of course, it made perfect sense with COVID. So
Yeah.
you push through this door, this plexi door, and all of a sudden you realize you're like, holy shit, like I can't see myself. And then you realize that you've lost your party. And you're like, why? You can feel someone holding your hand, but literally, like, I tell people, I'm like, put your hand on your nose. You can't see your hand. Like there's that much, you're right. There's that much fog in there. So the reason why we did it, we wanted people to feel like they were literally dying. Like I'm decontaminating.
The fuck what it feels like.
Yeah. I'm going to this new space. I got like this, my heart, like your heart, you can feel your heart doing something very irregular. So, and the idea behind it is that bass is literally moving this space in between you. Then you've got the fog that's in there. So the fog is a heavier fog. So it's water, obviously water-based. So that water sits heavier in your lungs. So the deeper breath you take, the more you realize you're filling up with water. So it feels like you're almost starting to drown just a tiny bit. And it's not that far. I'm not going to say how far it is, but it
feels like
it's a mile, right? Yeah. It's not that far. But it's far enough that for a split second, you think you might not make it out.
Oh, it's fucking scary, bro.
And that's what we want. We want just that little amount, and then boom, you're in. There's this white strobe that's and then it'll disappear.
Oh, it's creepy.
So, and that's the idea. Like, we want all of it to kind of be questionable. Like, what in the world? Like, my heart feels weird. My lungs feel weird. My hands, like, I can't, and my eyes, like, all as many senses as possible.
They're completely just, you're
All of
sensory deprivation.
All of it. It's like overload, 101. And then you walk out the door and you're like,
and you get chased out the fucking gate all the way to the end of it.
so that's the best part, right? Because people are like, oh, we made it. Thank God we're out of Fear
No,
Factory.
the fuck you did.
Exactly.
As soon as you come out of there, there's
Bing.
as you go down that long thing to get
Yeah.
out, there's people in that too.
That's what we wanted. Because we want people to let their guard down just enough that they're like, oh, that was so great. That was the best thing we've ever. And then boom, we'll hit them one more time.
Dude,
Just for the hell of it.
top to bottom, that place is insanity.
We have a lot of fun. We do.
It's the most well done thing I've ever seen. I don't know why that's not. It is the number one attraction of all time.
Thanks.
It truly is.
I couldn't be more proud of what we have, what we've built, what we've become, and what we create. I mean, it really, and thank you. I mean,
Yes,
it's so
thank you.
cool to see other people appreciate what we spend all years making and building and thinking. It's pretty cool.
God, and you can tell it's all every nut and bolt. Your lights. So I took one idea from you guys with the corrugated metal rusty lights that shoot up through.
Yeah, those
And
shadows.
God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's just the rusty cut, just shitty corrugated metal, and there's a light behind it, and it shoots up, and oh man, that's so beautiful.
Love it.
Everything about that place, you can tell every nut and bolt is just touched. Every pipe is touched by a human being. You can feel it.
That's the idea.
I look at every detail. You can tell that's how I am, right? I
Yeah.
feel that. It's such a beautiful place, man.
Huh.
What else about it can you talk about? Do you want to talk about any other cool new things coming up or any ideas that?
We've talked about some new stuff. We've talked about the manor. I can tell you our next. I don't know if I want to. I'll give a teaser. So the next thing that we're gonna build, if we can pull it off, this is the hard thing because like you got these ideas, these concepts, right? And sometimes you can't do it. You just can't pull it off. Either the technology's not right, or you can't quite pull it off the way you want to. And sometimes simpler is really better.
More effective.
Yeah. So take that. I mean, take the last thing, this concussion chamber. Like, well, let's be honest. It's steel, sound, light, fog.
And it is
That's it.
freaky, bro.
Right. It's super simple. And sometimes it's the simplest thing that really is the best scare. And so we try and keep all of that in mind. But the idea is that we're going to create a sewer. And it's going to be a sewer that will simulate drowning. If we can pull it off the way we want to do it, we're going to do it. Because we already have the swamp. And the swamp's already like a 4-foot high. And almost every single weekend, we've got at least one person for an EMT call because they get into that swamp and they have anxiety.
Oh, it's
And
nasty.
they literally like go into complete lockdown. They're like, I'm out. Get me out of here right. Like I'm having an anxiety attack. I can't stand. We got to put them out the emergency door
You have
and-
people watching for this.
every night.
And they'll, okay, come on.
Every
come on.
night. Yep.
They'll grab.
Every night.
Have you had people drop and just lose it?
Yeah.
They get-
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
Often. We have an EMT on deck every single night because it happens. Like when you raise the level that much, I expect some people just can't handle it. And I'm okay with that. So
God, it makes
we'll
it more.
make it work.
And it's lighting. It's all perfect laser lighting hitting like a level thing. And then the way that fog hits it, it looks like you're in water.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in water.
Yeah. And the fog, like,
And
so
people
most
jump up out of it and shit. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
And you can't see any of it. Like, that's the best part.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's weird.
So the fog, we can talk about that room. So we have to control that fog incredibly careful.
At a good height.
No, so believe it or not, you only see. So if you think about fog, so if you put some fog in your room,
Let's put fog in the room.
here we go. We'll fill this baby up.
Let's fill it.
So when the fog fills up the space, no matter what, you can't control where it's going to go, right? Like, it's going to fill this entire
with
room.
air moving. See, look at it blowing behind you. here.
Totally. So as the fog starts moving, and like even right above you where that gauge is at, how it's dropping,
Yeah.
you can watch how the air is going to it's pulling it and moving it, but it's never going to stay condensed other than right where it's coming out.
Yeah, it starts to kind of dissipate.
That's our problem. So the problem is that we need that up at the top consistently in order for those lasers to, when those lasers, you know, the fractals, there's like 1,000 fractals within that laser. So as it shoots out these millions of little lasers, 1,000, but as it shoots those lasers out, it needs to have the densest fog possible.
Yeah.
So what you actually see when you come into the swamp is you see the line level of where the light is hitting the fog.
Yeah.
What you can't see is that it's actually the entire silo is filled of that thick of fog.
Just dense.
Denser than dense. So the cool part is that we have to control it, but it has to be moving. So now we're in this 26-inch thick concrete silo. You've only got 2 air pockets that we have to control. There's an emergency where you come in, where you're actually like coming in through your flow, and then there's an emergency egress. Those 2 areas have to be controlled because if it's moving too much, you see right underneath it and you can see the monsters under you. If it's moving too little, it locks up and you can't, because then you can't see anything in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard. So even on like a windy night, every single night will be different in that space, because sometimes we get it and it's just perfect. And when it's perfect, oh my gosh, it's so sexy.
Oh, it's creepy.
And when it's not, it's still a great show, but you'll see a couple of things that we don't want you to see. But it's a lot of fun. There's actually slides. Like, you probably remember when there were slides.
Yeah, sliding. Yeah, were you from the vampire thing? I thought.
So it actually, you went out of clowns, and then you went up the staircase outside the silo, and then you would slide. We have a spiral slide and we have a straight slide. And both of them, one of the spiral one used to go into the swamp way back
where
when.
it just fucks with you. Like, I can't remember, but it seems like it twists your brain all up because you can't see anything, or
it's pitch black.
Something about it is
There's no light.
So weird.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Like, you're already in a questionable space, and then someone 3 stories up says, "Get into that tube." No,
You go down.
Screw you.
It's so
No.
dark. Like, and it does some weird turns, and you can't feel it.
Nothing.
God, it's so
Yeah.
weird.
like think of a water slide. Like, when the
You can
when
see
the
it.
turn's coming, right?
You can see
Yeah,
it.
not at the factory. You're just like, all right, dude, and you literally just get in.
It flops
and
you.
it is darkness the whole way down.
I do remember that.
Yeah, those are fun. So that's where the spiral goes into what used to be, now is the swamp, and then the straight slide goes into what's called the fire silo, which is the building. We literally have a building on fire inside of this silo because we wanted to simulate. Everyone's afraid of something. Some people are afraid of spiders or clowns. Some people are afraid of swamp. Some people are afraid of dying in a fire. So we want to make sure that we hit a lot of those different scares and phobias. And so that's
Fire. What's the fire?
some people are afraid of like dying in a fire. It's weird. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
weird.
yeah, fire's gonna kill you. Sure.
What is that? Is that a?
I don't. It's got its own, I'm sure, Latin la phobia.
But it's a real. What is that room? Is it? It's lighting effects and things.
Yeah.
or-
There's a cabin that's in there, and the whole cabin's on fire. It's all lighting, all effects, sound. We also put smell in there. It's literally burning
I
cedar.
don't remember that room.
It's incredible. It's outside, so it's inside of a silo, but it looks like you're outside in the woods. And then we added some some animatronics that we have actually pulled out for 4 years. They're back in new last year. They're these massive wolves that are like eating apart people inside the woods, and
God, I love it.
and the wolves are like, I don't even know how, like
They're huge.
huge.
And you guys build all of
Huge.
this.
Some of it we bought, so those we've bought, but a lot of them we'll refurb, and
Sure.
we'll either like we'll put a new skin on it essentially and create it into whatever monster we want. And sometimes we just keep them the way they are because they're just nasty and dirty and beautiful.
God, and it's all run by, a lot of it's run by air.
That's all air.
Pneumatics.
All pneumatic. Yeah.
Pneumatics, air is a big deal. There's a lot to air. You got to keep it dry.
Yeah.
You've got to keep it going.
Yep.
How much power does this building pull?
Too much. Too much.
I'm a lineman by trade, so I know power.
I can't tell you. I wish I would have known you years ago.
What's the power bill look like in that bitch?
Too much. Yeah. So what I can tell you is that on average, our utility bill is about $700 a month, just to keep just property like dead January, February. We turn the heat down.
Nobody in there.
No, I'm over there every week, but no, like the attraction's not running, right? Like you don't have lights, you don't have compressors, you don't have any of this stuff running.
So when everything's running,
when it's running, it's almost 5 times per month. And it's funny because you go from like nothing, and then of course the power company is like, well, you hit the surcharge, and it's like, because spike.
like $4,000 a month.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we had this power for the factory, and then we inherited this beautiful, we're actually firing it up this year. So it's this beautiful World War II searchlight. It's an old anti-aircraft. Like you fire this, and it's got rods that are these. I don't even know. But we buy them from this guy. It's a World War II dude, and he like loves stuff. And so we got this searchlight, and the searchlight is like, it's got to be 6 feet wide.
Damn.
It's off of an old ship, and there's supposedly like 4 or 5 of them left in the country that actually run.
What does it do?
It starts a small fire inside. So these rods burn at like, I don't even know what crazy number of lumen it is, but it burns at this like really intense amount, which then has mirrors, which the mirrors have glass, and it reflects back and forth. And then it shoots this beam that, I kid you not, like if there was an alien, the alien would be like shot out of the sky. Yeah. It's like, so like, even if you're close to it, like it's midnight, and if you go out on that north lot, it feels like noon. It is so bright.
What do you guys do? What's it doing?
Search lighting. Boo.
It's just showing you that you're there.
Doing its thing. And it is so cool. So when we inherited this, the amount of energy that this sucker takes is just, it's off the charts.
It runs on electricity?
Yeah. So they ended up having to like drop a new pole in, and they had to bring all these new lines in, and we're like, why
don't you guys run it on a generator?
Supposedly you're supposed to, but we would rather hardline it, like gas and blah. I don't know. But we were like, let's just run it on power. So we did.
And it takes
so we ran it all in.
3-phase power and shit.
Yeah, it is a 3-phase. That's exactly what it is.
I knew it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but when the tech
that's
team's
a
like,
lot of power is what that is.
Is it?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
How much? I don't know.
3-phase power is a big deal. I'm sure a lot of it's probably running on boilers. And does your heat system run on a boiler system, or is it
no heat on the whole property?
You don't have heat in there?
Just in our one building, but it's HVAC, just electricity, just like probably here. Yeah.
It's miserable and cold and
damn miserable.
That place is weird, dude.
Like it is so
it dicks with you.
Cold. So what's funny, when the news media is like, hey, can we come do a story?
Yeah, bring a fucking jacket.
Yeah, I'm like, good luck. Because it is colder inside than it is out. And it's not the ghost.
That's how it works.
Like it is so cold in there. Yeah.
Yeah, bring it. We always have beanies and gloves and everything when we go in there. And then you get scared and then you're hot. And it's just, man, that place it's amazing.
Yep.
You guys do
3-phase. All right. I don't know what that is, but that's it.
3-phase potential. That's a lot of power.
Huh. And that's what we have just for that one searchlight. It's cool.
And it's on probably the south end by the bridge.
It's on the north end, on 800 South.
Is it right by as you come in?
Yeah. So as you come in the main gates, if you look directly,
and what's his name's got the
west,
guy, the pitchfork thing,
Mondo.
So
look farther west. There's actually a west parking gate that's over there for staff that's protected. Our safety team's over there. But you'll see this massive white thing
right by the substation.
Yes, it's right there.
Yeah,
right there.
And it's just saying, "Here we are. Look at us." Like everybody has.
And it's crazy. We had to get
Not
federal.
Like that,
yeah, we had to get federal approval for it because it's like that strong.
Because it'll shoot a fucking plane out of the sky.
Supposedly the airport was concerned about it, and they're like, no, you cannot run that. And we're like, listen, you guys, it's going to run for 20, 30 days a year. Just let us have our fun.
Fly around it.
And yeah, right? I'm just
Can you imagine that hitting going to fucking
blind them,
flying to Vegas on a 757, and the pilot's like, "Holy shit, what is this?"
So the airport made us I don't know what degree it's supposed to be at, but we had to change the degree
to keep it out of their flight pattern.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
They could probably feel the heat from it even.
It is like to be able to stand near it. It's like you feel weird. Like, it's probably what like when you're around that much electricity. So when you're around it, it kind of changes you. You're like,
God, see, from top to bottom, that building is just
It's fun. It's so expensive to run. I wish there was a cheaper way to do it.
There isn't because
there's not. Yeah.
Do you guys do well? Does it do well? Does it do okay?
So like
it's got to do okay.
It does okay. So any business model will tell you that it's going to take you 10 years to dig out, right? We're still going to dig out for probably another 5.
You're still digging out?
Absolutely. Imagine what it takes to buy it, but then to move it from non-OSHA to OSHA, but then to also seismically protect it.
Suppression.
Then the suppression. Then you've got $500,000 just in labor every single year to pay for almost 400 people. And then you've got utilities, you've got maintenance, you've got all that other stuff. So it's a lot. It's a lot of money. I think a lot of people are like, they do the math first, and they're like, oh, hey, I think 2019, pre-COVID, we had 65,000 people come through the property. So people are like, 65,000 people times that by $42 a ticket.
You guys are doing so well.
And everyone's like, I'm going to open up a haunted house.
And they don't know what it costs to run it.
Then I'll talk them out of it because it's a horrible idea. Yeah. It's so much
And you guys
money.
keep doing it.
Yeah. So because we love it.
Keep
our
doing
team loves it. I mean, like,
God, it's amazing.
yeah, you've got to. So, the world is so good. We were talking about this at the station. Like, the world's so good about telling us that we suck, right? Like, you don't fit in. You're not the status quo. You don't look how we want. You don't talk the way we want. Whatever it is, like, you don't fit in. So, for our staff, this is that one place where the world doesn't get to tell you anything. You get to be who you are. You bring your game, and you have a hell of a lot of fun. And that's what we do. So so part of it is just knowing that we're doing that for other people, giving them that space once a year for 40 days where they get to just be with these people who get them. That's gold. And if we can figure out how to keep that happening, how do we create diverse and inclusive spaces where people feel like they can bring their A game and they can kill it every single night? And so by doing that, it's kind of like that's the lift. Like, it's not all about money. It really is about the passion. And you can feel it, right? Like, it's the same thing here.
Totally
like,
feel
can
it.
feel it in every single thing that you do.
And oftentimes those are the things that aren't killing it.
Right. Yes.
It's the other shit. We talked about it upstairs. Like, how did they make it?
Yeah.
Why is he what?
Yeah.
And the people putting their heart into things just struggle with it, and they're okay with it.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the cool part. There's
that's beautiful.
There's things that we love, and there's things that don't get me wrong. And our owners, like, bless them. There's times where they're just like, Spencer, we really don't. We don't want to have a meeting. And I'm like, sorry, guys, we're having a meeting. We got shit to do, because it's January 3rd, and it's like, what do we do? In fact, you're the first news media to know this.
Let's hear it.
First podcast in the world. When was this going to air?
Next Friday. Uh-oh.
All right, I'm going to say it anyway. So we're taking about 40 of our leadership on a cruise. Why the hell not?
Why not go more in the hole?
Right. What? Why not? Why not? Because we're like,
you guys.
So
are
for
great,
our 10-year
man.
anniversary,
You're
it's
great.
like, how do we do something that's just really? There's some haunted houses that are out there, and they don't pay their staff anything.
Oh, it's
Nothing.
free. My kid's
it's
doing
like-
one right now.
It's like volunteer. Like, I'm gonna go be a volunteer, and so then at the end of the year, then their staff posts this picture, and is like, "Yay, we're going on a cruise," and we're like, well, "Yeah, but if they would have paid you, you could have gone on a cruise for 3 weeks. Like, they should have been paying you." So instead, we were like, "Screw it. We're gonna pay people. They're making $12, $13 an hour right now, and they make a decent amount of money, and you get to go on. Our leadership gets to go on a cruise because we want to reward people for creating the space that they feel good in. So why not? We're gonna see how we do it. It's our 10-year present.
Good for you, man. It's
cool.
Where are you guys going? Do you know?
We're
You wanna talk
gonna
about
we go
it?
to Long Beach, and then we're gonna hop on Carnival for 4 days. We're going down to Catalina, then to Ensenada. We're gonna turn around and come home.
So on a boat, you're gonna do a big boat
Wah, wah.
cruise. 40 people
It's gonna be awesome. I can't
from
wait.
the Fear Factory.
Yeah, right.
Damn.
Now, that is a party. Can't wait.
Oh,
It'll
that's
be
a
lot of fun.
party.
It'll be a lot of fun. I had to remind everyone to stay professional.
God, I'm sure that's
myself included.
I was gonna say, I'm sure that's not gonna be easy for this motley crew you guys run.
We're gonna do great.
Every actor from the start of that bitch to the end of it
Yep.
is there. They talk in tongues. There's people. You can just feel it that they give their all.
We have trainers that actually.
They're not dicking around. Like
No.
everybody, the Draculas are speaking this bizarre like in tongue. I don't know how to explain what they're saying, but
Yes.
you can hear it. Like they sound like they're from Transylvania or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so beautifully done, man.
The training team. So we've always had a really great training team,
That's cool.
and it's multiple people, which is the best part. So character development is such an important part because if you as an actor physically believe that you are someone else, it's almost kind of MPD, a little multiple personality disorder, because you have to believe that you really are
that.
the lady that's down in the torture that really does think she's going to eat someone tonight. You got to believe that. And if you can believe that, it's going to show in how you act and how you tell that story.
And then we believe that.
Exactly.
And we are
So-
scared to death.
So the first night of operation this year, so Infirmary won our what we call every night. There's an actor of the night and there's a zone of the night. And some of our staff and our management, and usually myself, one of our other owners, will try and get through at least 2 or 3 times full show
You're
and-
going through the haunt,
going through. Yep.
and they don't know when you're coming.
Nope. And we usually disguise up. So like, like there's plenty of times where like nobody knows that
What's
I'm
that
in
called?
there.
The boss. What's the show where the boss shows up and they don't know it's the boss?
They don't know.
Yeah.
That's what we do. And we dress up and sometimes we'll actually like wait and we'll go in with a group. Like we do it in a lot of different ways. And so we're watching and I was just the first night of our show 2021 this year. And I was like, holy shit, like if this is as good as it's going to, like we are going to
They're
blow
killing it.
this roof off. So Zone 1, Catacombs, killed it. Torture, killed it. Tower, killed it. Infirmary. And I get to Infirmary, and the actor, he's probably like 50 years old. His daughter works for us. And he's in a white coat and bald head, and he looks at me, and he like ducks his head, and he turns around, and I'm like, dude, you missed your scare. Like, you missed it. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And so I kept walking, and I walk into the infirmary, and there he is in the corner,
Just
banging-
off the fucking
banging his head in the corner, and I'm just like,
Oh my
what the hell
god!
is going on? And
I
I'm
got-
like, no scares at all. So I walk through the rest of the infirmary, and I don't want to say her name, but the section leader who's in there is a new leader this year, and just totally said, you guys listen, we're not going to scare. We're going to do questionable. Like, I want people to literally leave this
like,
space and
keep looking
question.
behind them.
Yeah, and like question, what did I just walk through?
Oh god!
And they nailed, like, for the first time ever, I walked through that zone and I literally left and I was like,
what the fuck?
and
was
I
that?
radioed our owners and I was like, you guys need to come up here and see this. It's that good. Like, man, it was cool. First night,
God, good
new
for them.
section leader, new staff. And I was like,
And you had no idea they were
kill
going
it.
to do that.
No. And it was like the weirdest question. Like, I still, like, as I like am playing it in my head, every single person was on point. There was one scare in the entire space, which was perfectly timed. And everybody else was just like, like, are you really?
Your team
Are you
cares.
really sane? Are you really?
You can feel it.
Yeah, they love it. They love what they do. They totally love what they do.
Oh, it's
But it
so
goes both
cool.
ways. Like, you gotta, you take care of the people who take care of you. Like
Yes.
that's my mantra in life.
Is that it then? Do you guys have? Is it? Do they have free reign to kind of do things, or are they? Is it choreographed? Would be the word.
Yeah,
There's
a little
an
of both.
There's an idea of choreographicness ish, but they kind of just have at it. Just make this a mess.
Yeah, the conception idea is, there's, think of it like a box, right? Like there's this box, and you can do anything you want inside the box. There's
Right.
certain things that you can and can't do. Like there's nothing worse than paying $40 for a ticket only to have people say "Get out" 30 times to you. Like it's, just like,
Right.
it's not scary. I think it's okay. I will. Can I get my money back?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. So, so just, like boo, we didn't need that. That's a no. It's like there's a couple of no, like things that you cannot do, but within this box, do it. Her entire team just rewrote the whole rules, and they were like, all right, we see the box, but everything that has been done in this box, new.
They're doing it.
Yeah.
They're
So
creating.
it's really cool. Even the vampires. So in the vampire manner, they've typically been very fast floating. Ian is one of our, he's very tall, bald. He's like one of our well-known characters. We've got about 15 well-known characters. Like they've got their own TikToks. Like in fact, he was actually just all the haunted houses in the world vote for their favorite character, and he was just voted the #1 actor in all haunted houses in the entire world. His character name is Bletterrock, and but he just kills it. And he's tall.
He is a vampire.
He really is. Like
This is the gentleman on the wristbands, right?
Yeah, he's on the wrist. Yeah, he's on the wristband. He's on our bounce back wristband. He's on our glasses as well. He's just cool dude. Just in general, really cool. And it's the funniest thing because people will meet him and they're like, try and do like vampire jokes. Like they try and do funny stuff to make him crack. And he's 100% vegan. And so people will be like, so do you eat meat?
Just humans.
Just their blood. But the reality is that he's actually very serious, and he holds that composure so well. So when he's out, he's out in the fire lane occasionally, and he'll tag team it. So we'll have another actor, and so in acting, you have decoys, and your decoy is essentially your decoy. It's how you take attention away from something.
Yeah.
And then you have your release. So in your release is essentially the scare, and the scare can either be an air prop, a pneumatic, a sound, an actor, whatever that is. So you've got a decoy that's always going to take your attention from something else, and then it'll get you. So a lot of times he's that release and the decoy play, and they just tag team it all night long. There is nothing more fun. The next time you come to the factory, plan to spend the whole night there and literally just sit on the fire lane, which is that long thing that you walk down on our midway, and just watch. And like the frontline team kills it. They kill it. And our section leader there, when he first came to us, he's like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And he's like, "I want to like be a mortician." You're like, "You want to like hang out with dead people?" And he's like, I want to paint dead people." And I was like,
You're perfect for this.
"You're hired."
Yeah, get in here.
And now he's one of our guys that does a lot of our effects. He's actually we call him the prop master because he's taking care of these props. And I kid you not, it's a little dark, and I love it because he's like putting perma blood on like these skulls and like these bodies, and perma blood is like this. You probably have perma blood on some of your, like I think that rotisserie out there is probably perma blood because it's like this bloody stuff, but it looks wet when it dries. It's got like this shellac on it, and he'll like paint them and like caress them, and like
he's just there,
and
he's so involved.
It's like he knows exactly, and he'll like look at the prop
It's
from
like, nope,
different angles to make sure it's perfect. Damn, he's good.
Oh, everything in there is like that, bro.
Yeah. See, every detail.
It's
got to be.
You guys are incredible. That team, whatever's happening there is truly wrong. It is
Thank you.
so well done. It's so disturbing. Go ahead.
I really like the devil with the belly hanging out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I liked him. He
So
was one of the first characters I seen.
That was the section leader front line.
Really
That's him.
good.
And he makes probably 90% of all of his characters. Like he makes them all.
So you guys do all your own silicone, and then you're just all your
most
own
of it. Yeah.
You're creating all that.
Junior, you got to check out the workshop.
You just tell me when I can be there, and I'm there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We'll
I'm
make
there.
it happen.
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm beyond there. I want to be part of that team. God damn it! I'm
We'll
that
figure it
guy.
out. We're gonna figure it out.
You wait till you see outside. This is just my little corner of my world.
I know. I can't wait.
I live for this stuff, man. I just love it. Halloween is
gonna be cool.
Is my life. I live for I don't know. It's so. As far as I know, I looked up a thing the other day. There's more money, there's more revenue in Utah generated for Halloween than any holiday. It's more than there's no Halloween store or no Christmas stores.
Yeah.
There's spirits everywhere. People spend more money for Halloween than they do any holiday in Utah.
And that was 2 years ago. And then COVID happened. And you would think that home haunting went down the drain.
Mine was
almost 30% increase in sales.
At your place?
In spirits in Utah.
Everywhere. Bro.
Everyone decorated their yard, and
COVID,
Halloween blew up even more.
The COVID thing last year, maybe I should. Everybody had their masks on, of course.
Yeah.
There was 300 trick-or-treaters here.
It's awesome.
Throughout the night. It was insanity. People you can see on the cameras loop, just drive through.
Oh, I bet.
He's coming from a haunted, he works at Green Acres, clear out here.
Oh, yeah.
He just come from there.
Cool.
We We
Dun,
tattoo
dun,
the lady
dun.
that owns that place. But anyway,
Love it.
that's where he's coming from. So we're just all Halloween. We love it, man.
I love it. And
And-
it's so if you were I always love asking people this question. So if you were to boil down your love for Halloween to that one, like this one thing that probably changed you, and you're like, I'm doing this the rest of my life. What do you think it was?
What do you mean? I guess I don't understand.
So when you were young,
Okay.
something triggered you, and you're like, I want to do I love Halloween. I'm gonna do this the rest of my life. Every Halloween, like this is my holiday.
Uh-huh.
What was that?
Everything about it. Scare, fear.
Okay.
Like I'm infatuated with horror altogether. I think a lot of humans are.
Okay.
Fear. I love the mask, the putting on, being something not that I am.
Okay.
You know, I love the weather. In Utah, it's the weather. I
Mhm.
love the weather.
That weather the other day, I was like, bring it. Bring
Dude,
this
it's
shit
so
home.
cold and
Yeah.
just
Crisp.
you can smell it, and it's beautiful in Utah.
Yeah.
So I don't even know everything
Huh.
about the holiday, everything about the October, everything about. It's just it freaks me out altogether. I love it. My very first fond memory was going to Rocky Point Haunted House
Okay.
when it was the round one up in Willard Bay.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
Okay.
My dad took me there when I was 10 years old for my birthday.
Love it.
September 10th is my birthday.
Happy past, like just
Thank you.
recently.
Just barely.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
That's cool.
We went there and I was able to take a bunch of my friends. I remember it vividly. I'm a very that guy. I think because of the fear and the smell and everything about it, man, it just freaks me out. But we went there because we never decorated for Halloween or anything here. My parents, it wasn't we just trick-or-treated, whatever. But I started decorating just because I love it.
Yeah.
But we went there and it was back in the day when you could take, I was born in 1980.
Okay.
You could still ride in the back of the truck. All my friends were in the back of a 79 Chevy half-ton pickup truck.
Hauling a Willard.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. On the freeway, in the dark. We were sitting in the back. That's you used to do that around here.
Yeah.
And we drove all the way to Willard Bay in the back of that truck, colder than shit. And I just remember it all. We got out and we were scared.
That was it. So that was the moment.
That was it.
So
So
I need to connect you to Sydney then. So
I would
Sid
love to meet.
Sid is a brilliant woman who quite frankly kicked ass as a woman in a time when the men thought they knew it all and were trying to push the women out of it, especially this industry. And Sid just killed it. And I absolutely love her. Like, she's such a badass, and she's really just this. She understands people, she understands fear, she understands horror, and she understands business, quite frankly, than probably some of the people that are really well known in our industry today. And her studio is literally like 10 blocks from the factory. So had lunch with her the other day or a couple months ago, and we're going to try and connect again. And what I love most about her is that she, for I think a lot of us, it starts there. Like, it started like that was for I think a lot of people the first like real haunted house where people were questionably moved outside of Utah and into some fictional space.
Yeah.
And she did it really well because of her contacts in Hollywood. And so one, we have to connect you to Sid because Sid would love all of this.
I love that.
That's really cool though, because that's like those are those moments. So for me, it was like I was trick or treating, and I was like, "This is stupid." Like trick or treating, stupid. And then one day, I was waiting for my friends because we were out trick or treating, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go run to the neighbor's house really quick. I want to go get another candy bar." And so I actually hid in the bushes, and they came back and just scared the shit out of them. And right then, I was like,
Addicted.
"Have my candy, you guys!" Like I got.
I'm
work
staying
to do.
here all night, and I'm gonna fuck with everybody that comes by this bush.
So then my dad, of course, saw it, and he was like, "You're a mess." So then he built this coffin, and that was it. And like we had our first home haunt. I lived up in Oak Forest in Layton, and like there wasn't a lot happening. Literally like that way, like, super close. Like this is like old stomping grounds, and so being in that space, that was it for me. Okay, Dre, what's your space? Like, what's your like? Oh, this was my first time. I love Halloween.
My dad, we were living in Portland at the time, in Southeast Portland, and we were on a second level apartment complex, and my dad, he was a werewolf. He had the mask on with the glowing eyes, very 90s costume.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And so me and my friends, it's about 10:30, 11. We're wrapping up, right? We're going back home, and my dad had told us, "Yo, come back, get some candy, to my friends. And so I was like the last stop or whatever. Not knowing that my dad was actually going to scare my friends.
I love it.
We go up to the top of the stairs.
It's a cool dad.
My dad unhooks the light, so it's dark. When you get up to the top of the stairs, it's dark. Pitch black.
This is like premeditated murder. I love
exactly.
this. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.
So it's late. It's late as shit. So there's no kids, right? And so my friend knock on the door, trick or treat. It's my house, so I'm not really going up. And my dad comes out, wolf, scares the living shit out of my boys.
I love
They
it.
jump. It's like, it has to be about 20 stairs. They jump from the top. I didn't see them hit.
We're out.
Yeah. And it was that moment. I was like, man, I love this holiday. This is really cool.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
I love it.
interactively fun and unknown and just God, it's beautiful.
Can we all agree though that like everybody that went trick or treating, we always got the black and the orange candy that you never knew what it was?
Never. I still don't know what that is.
It was like taffy, but you don't know what it was.
yeah.
Look, and here we do. Last year was our first year. We did this garage. I have this door open.
Okay.
And people come through. We have tables everywhere. There's people just, Jade dresses up. She does incredible makeup. Her dad was here as I was my brother's shit. We'll edit that. We'll cut that out. What time was that at? We're going to cut that out. Okay. Anyway, we have a good time here in the garage. Whoops. And I'll show you what I mean. And people just, the trick-or-treaters just flock to this place.
I bet.
And it changed my life when a couple people said, we come here from South Jordan
That's awesome.
every year because to trick or treat, it gives me goosebumps because my grandma lives down here. We came here to trick or treat in her little neighborhood. We've seen this home. We now come here
Every year.
from Kearns, from Taylor. You name the city. They come here all the time.
Yep.
Lots of different people just to see this home. It changed my heart. It almost makes me
cool.
cry thinking
That's
about
so
it.
cool.
To see this yard. So this year we set up all these tables and we had chili and we had just beautiful things for people. That my wife's an unbelievable cook. She had
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything there. My bad.
Yeah.
Huge thing of hot chocolate and a big thing with you push the button. It comes out like we had it all, man. We have, if the adult wants a drink, we got a drink kind of thing.
yeah.
We had it all set up in here. It was so neat and it was so interactive and there was just people hanging out and it was
Cool.
so fuck COVID. It was so fun. Everybody was so happy to be part of this. And,
Yeah.
and we're fine. Everybody's had their thing. We were 6 feet, all of whatever the fuck it all supposed to be. It ain't a business anyway. There was just people.
Yeah.
There was still trick-or-treaters.
Community.
That wanted to come and be part of the life. And it was the most beautiful experience we've ever had last
That's
year.
cool.
And I think this year is going to be even more
Yeah. Plan on it.
intense and fun and people want to be here. And
Yep.
oh man, I just love this holiday.
I can only imagine. So ticket sales are up 20% this year.
Good.
So imagine at
Already?
least 20%, and we're 4 days into the season. 20%.
You've been open 4 nights?
4 nights. 20%. Everyone who was not able to, not allowed to, couldn't, whatever, put your word there, from last year. I mean, we were only operating at 40% capacity last year. We sold out
Oh, I
every
remember.
single night.
It was fucking horrible.
And so, yeah, it sucked.
With the mask thing, I got
Yeah.
messed with a few times. There was
It
a
was-
couple people that were very stickler about it. Sir, put your mask on. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wear hearing
Right.
aids, and they pull on my fucking hearing aids, and I can't. I'm like, please just leave me alone. I'm 6 feet away from everybody. But your staff was adamant. Put
Yeah.
your fucking mask on, or we're kicking you out of this fucking facility.
You know why?
So kudos to you guys to stay open.
Yeah. We had to stay
I
open.
respect that so
CDC
much.
was on property. And so the deal was
They
that
were all over my
we
ass,
would do what we could to make sure that everyone was safe.
and you did a beautiful job.
Yeah. It was hard, but it's good.
And I overheard something. You guys presented something to somebody to stay open. Say, look, we're going to do this. This is what we're telling the state of Utah. We're going to stay open.
Yeah.
'Cause
We were
this
talking
is-
about this.
He
Yeah.
was telling me, and I think it's so cool.
So COVID sucks. And crazy story. So my wife, doctor, chemist, pharmacist, she's really awesome. So she sees, I don't want to say everything, but she sees what is being purchased before everybody else does.
Yeah.
So she knows what drugs are in motion in this country. And in March, all of a sudden, the government started buying just tons of stuff, like tons. So while we were like, and this is March. So in March, mid-March, the International Haunted Attraction Association show, Trans World, that happens in St. Louis every year. You should go.
Oh, I would love to.
So that got canceled literally. So as a board of directors, so I'm the president of the Haunted Attraction Association. And at the time I was a board member, and literally 24 hours before we're all supposed to get on planes to go down to this international conference. I mean, it's like 2-point-something billion square feet.
Damn.
It's like 13
Like
Salt Lake
FearCon,
Costco's.
yeah.
Massive, massive. It's the St. Louis Rams dome plus the convention center plus all the hotels within 2 square blocks.
Holy shit.
Massive.
Nothing but haunt fears.
The whole thing
God.
the whole thing got canceled. So that's happening. And long story short, she saw stuff and she's like, we're not getting told the whole story. And then she starts seeing the drugs moving. And she's like, whoa, like something is not right. So Fear Factory is supposed to open in May. And we were like, oh my gosh. Like, so May we open for our spring event. So it's like it's our lights out. So blackout, it used to be called blackout. Now it's lights out because it's like we literally turn off 98% of all the lights on the property. You're given a little finger light, and we pretty much say, good luck surviving. And it's actually a joke on our customers. Have you ever been?
No.
So lights, you would hate it because you don't get to see the sets. You don't get to see anything. All it is pitch black, and the whole time you got this stupid little LED fingered light, and you're like, I can't see anything, and I can't. Because, of course, it's like false sense of security. Everyone's like, I got my light. It's going to be fine.
Is there actors in there and shit? Yeah, I can't tell.
Tons. And the idea is that you can only see 6 feet. Like, that LED is not strong enough. But we can see it coming from a mile away. And it is the most beautiful. There is nothing better. Like, probably one of the best things that we should actually, like, you go get a couple beers, and then we'll just give you a dark spot in the haunt to just watch.
Just stand there.
And it is the best entertainment for 2.5 hours because, like, everyone freaks out. Everyone's in the dark. And whether it's a group of 2 or a group of 6, like, it's a riot.
I love it.
So that we were supposed to open for that in May. And then we realized we're not going to be able to open up. There was just no way. And so we very quickly, we realized that the entertainment industry was going to start crumbling very, very
absolutely.
quickly. Because of me being connected to our association, to 5,000 Haunted Houses, but we're also connected to, zoos, aquariums, theme parks, like anyone who's doing entertainment, like that was what was happening. And we saw this happening up first, and my wife seeing these drugs moving, and I was like, I don't think we're being told everything. And then we started, the shutdown happened, and we're like, holy shit, this is coming.
We're done.
So we made a couple of decisions and worked with Governor Herbert's office, with county and city folks, and we're like, listen, my personal opinion is that you can't, if most of our hospitals are nonprofit, who's running that? The economy is running that. Which means that we're all going to need money. So if we shut down, we stop the money, we stop the care, people are going to die anyway. We have to figure out how to open this back up.
Absolutely.
So we said, here's the deal. So I used to run hotels and casinos for a living and 6 restaurants. So I'm pretty darn familiar with the health department. I can handle that all day long. Most people in the haunted house world, they don't know anything about health code.
Right.
They don't know anything about the health department or what codes or what temperatures or anything. So we sat down as owners, and we made a decision. We're like, we're either going to do this, we're either going to open in May or we're not. And we ended up doing it. And we opened on the 29th of May, and we wrote the 60-page contingency plan. Everyone and their dog from all over the world came on the 29th because they were like, we need to see how they're doing this.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
We had, and it was like, it's crazy to look back now. So we had sanitizer on property. Everyone had to wear masks. All of our makeup team had to wear triple PPE. So they had to have goggles, shield, mask.
And still be scary.
Gown. Well, this was up in the makeup room. But then our actors all had to be in masks. So we pioneered these masks that essentially, like, take this skull, for example, it's on the table. So imagine this skull that's here, but we built in breathing mechanisms inside of all of our masks.
Holy shit.
We were the first to be able to do it, and we ran it. And then we had a bunch of our other, like Inferno FX, plug. So Inferno FX is really great about making these really great workable masks from anyone from home haunters to pro. Killed it. And so they started making them. We put them all into production for our team, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, like, you don't actually have to have a doctor mask. Like, you can actually, like, look scarier than hell.
Even
and
more.
Still breathe and still have your mask. Yeah, even more. So it worked out really well. So we launched that full thing, and it was everything. Like we had every other line for our queue. We actually gloves. People had to wear gloves when we were there on the 29th. We had like boxes of gloves out. We even had sanitizer, and people were like, "I don't understand why is there sanitizer at a haunted house?" And we're like, "Well, you squirt it, put it on your hands."
Oh
Like,
yeah.
people had no idea. Like, why is there even why was there sanitizer in the grocery store? Like, that wasn't a concept then. And so we had to like train the team or train our own internal team, but train marketing. How do we tell this story about what you're going to expect when you come on property? So that plan was used by everyone.
You guys were the model of it.
We were it. And so because we're the first ones in the world to open, you've got folks in China, you have folks in, every country. I don't even know how many thousands of times that plan was downloaded. And we reached back out to people and like, was this helpful? 100%. Everyone's like, yeah, without this, we couldn't have opened. A lot of people, I guess, took it to their governor and was like, hey, if I do this, will you let me open?
Yes.
And for the most part, I think it was like 78% said, yeah, they were able to open. And other states were like California, they were like, yeah, no, you're not going to open.
Yeah, they shut everything.
But it is what it is. So it was really cool to know that we were, again, just the forefront of how do we make our industry better and just do what we can.
You guys are running an
Do what we can.
incredible business from top to bottom, man.
It
is truly unbelievable.
It's bittersweet for sure. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a lot of work though.
I guarantee you it's a lot of work. And my heart goes out to that place. And I'm so excited. How long have we been going? Like 3 hours? Sorry.
Oh, it is 2 a.m.
An hour and 40 minutes on the dot.
Nice.
So I didn't want to keep you.
How long do these go?
Some are an hour and some are
2 a.m.
I've had 3 hour ones before.
Wow, that's cool.
So it just depends on the content, who's here and what I'm vibing with, what I'm feeling. There's no narrative. There's no.
That's the cool part. I like it.
I'm not reading anything.
Yeah.
I don't have questions ready. I didn't even know you. I don't have any of this ready.
Strangers in the dark.
I love to fucking just fly by the little seat of my pants. I think that's how the world should be.
Agreed.
And no plan.
Yeah.
I have no plans. I want to create as I go, and that's what this was all about. And every episode just seems to get better and more and more and more and more.
Cool.
So,
love it.
I really, I could just keep going. I'm so thankful to have you here tonight. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been awesome.
You guys are more than welcome. Anybody you want to bring out, do it. Do you got things you want to plug? Any of your socials, your stuff? Do you guys have Instagrams and stuff? Do you want to talk?
Fear Factory's got, it's Fear Factory SLC for pretty much everything. Insta, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's all Fear Factory SLC. Websites, fearfactoryslc.com. There's a lot of cool stuff. The Haunted Attraction Association, we can plug that. So the hauntedattractionassociation.com as well, especially for like home haunters. Like there's a lot of resources that are out there that's really cool for people that are like, hey, I'm doing this personally. Like maybe I'm going to do this more professionally. And there's just a ton there. So that's pretty cool. Man, I can't think of anything else. It's pretty awesome.
Mountain High Chai.
Oh, yeah, Mountain High Chai.
Plug the chai.
Yo, that's been in the camera shot the whole time.
Has it?
MountainHighChai.com.
All right.
That
So yeah,
camera's
Mountain High
looking
Chai.
at it right
Thanks,
there.
Dre. So Mountain High Chai it's a personal love. It's a 10-year in the making. I feel literally every time I make, so it's all small batch. It's all controlled. It's a 4-hour brew process. And the best part of all is there's no tea. There's no black tea in there. Zero. There's no tea. So it's literally chai tea without the tea.
It's fucking incredible.
Thanks. It's so when I'm like making this, I feel like this like cute little old lady that's like hunched over a pot, and the whole time just like
a witch. Yeah, you should have a hat on and everything.
Yeah, right.
Making spells.
It's so awesome, but it's like because there is intention that goes into this. There's like power and magic. There's like
you can taste it.
It's cool.
You can taste it.
Thank you.
It's nothing shy of that place, this place. You can feel it. You can taste it. You can. The food here you had. It's real. You can tell when people give a fuck about what they do.
It's like genuine. It's organic. It's none of that insights crap.
And I want to be around these people. I want those people in my life 25 hours a day.
Yep.
27.
Yeah. I love it.
27th hour. Little plug. You guys are listening. You know the name of the show. I love to be around that, man. You can feel it. You can taste it in this stuff.
Agreed.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. It's a passion.
And I can't wait for that to take off and be what it deserves.
One day. Same here.
And if people want to try it out, they can actually taste it at the Fear Factory, right?
Yes, that's true. So,
Do you? Yeah.
so, so Cindy, who's one of our owners, she was like, I really want to do I want to do ice cream, or I want to do something really cold. And we were going to get Dippin' Dots in, and then Dippin' Dots didn't work out. And we're trying to do Zeppies. It's a really cool thing. It's in City Creek, and it didn't work out. And so instead we're like, well, we need to do iced coffees or something. And then literally in our meeting, and Cindy was like, I need your chai. And I'm like, no.
I can't make that much of it.
Because, well, I can make it, but I just don't, I don't want people to be like, oh, well, it's just here because it's verified. So I was like, no, I really don't want to do it. 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And finally she was like, no, really, I want to do iced chai. Bring it. I want at least a couple bottles a night. So I was like, let's do it. What the hell? Let's just do it. So sure enough. So yeah, so you can get Mountain High Chai at the factory and enjoy it. You can have it iced. You can have it cold. You can have it hot. You can have it steamed. You can have it with water. This is great in the morning when you want a lighter fare. Just mix it and say we mixed it half milk, half chai.
God, it's so
do
good.
it in the morning and just do hot water and try and just go out on your porch and just chill for a minute and be like, ugh.
Goes good with other things.
Mountain High Chai. It's great on its own. It's great as a mixer. You can do whatever you want with it. People make everything. Sydney Neal actually, she'll take this and she'll take Sid, forgive me if I'm telling everyone your secret. So she'll take this and she'll take vanilla creamer. She'll mix them together and then she'll freeze it as ice cream. Brilliant.
Oh shit, I love ice
She's
cream.
Incredible. Cook.
You got no idea who you're talking to about it.
There you go.
The ice cream game. Boom. That's this guy.
So there's
I love
that.
ice cream.
Well, I'm leaving the bottle, so do that with it.
Oh,
and
thank
then
you.
people make French toast with it. People will.
God, it's
so there's in sprinkle. So the best part is it's a zero.
It's so thick.
There's a zero waste production as well. So
it's beautiful.
The sprinkles. So after we're done brewing for 4 hours, then we slow roast everything for 3 days and we grind it and turn it into sprinkles. So then you sprinkle it on top of your chai, or people will put it on desserts, or they'll put it on icing. You name it.
Look at all your look at all your stuff. There's no this, no this, no this, no that, no that. Whatever those are called. These. What are
the nose?
The nose.
I call them free froms.
And
I'm sure there's a word for them.
Same thing when you look at anything that's good for you. This is all over the label.
Yeah.
I love.
There's no crap. There's no chemical. There's no preservative. It's just
zero waste.
This is how it should have been. This is what you should have been drinking 2,000 years ago when you're on the top of a mountain somewhere.
It's fucking incredible.
That's
man.
it.
It truly is. It's unbelievable.
Thanks.
And I'm so grateful to have met you. And Dre's like, you got to meet this guy. You're fucking gonna meet this guy.
I know.
And I'm like, hey,
we talked for an hour after the studio, right? We're just you gotta meet Junior. You gotta go this. You gotta see this and be like, there's a part of your life that you don't even know has happened yet.
Yes.
And I was like, bring it. Let's.
And
do
you can
this.
feel it. I hope you can feel it, man.
Totally.
I only have
can.
one more thing to add to all of this.
Okay.
I don't know why you don't have food there, but you've now hired her in a taco truck to make your tacos every night at the Fear Factory. To serve food.
Do you really have a truck?
I will fucking build
I was going
one.
to say, you have one tomorrow.
Because
I know who's going to build it for you.
I'm telling you right now, that would triple the world's experience there to come through and be like, yo, I can get a taco. What? Fuck, seriously? What else can't we get at the Fear Factory?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Done. You tell me when you're ready to do it and we'll make it happen. So because we brought in 2 food trucks this year.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
But thank you.
Your fall just got ruined.
Can you fucking imagine?
Yeah.
Just whatever she's going to put together.
Yeah.
It's just Erica's food.
Imagine that bowl, but because it has to be portable. That's the trick, because we want everything to be portable. Tacos, boom.
You just walk to the gate and people be very mindful of it. Throw it away. Here's your garbage before you go in.
Yep. Happy.
Shit.
Yeah.
Dre's up mixing music at the top. Damn, bro.
Love it. It's gonna be good.
I'm scared to go through it again.
Junior will be.
You wanna come? You should come DJ. You wanna do it?
That's what I'm saying.
I might.
Not
DJ.
might. Let's do it.
DJ, food, art.
Yeah.
I just want to walk around.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, man. Everything
let me be
about
part
that
of
place is fun, man.
I want to just be with you and be like, fucking take me somewhere.
fun.
Show me something. I
We'll
want
just
to
do
touch
stuff.
something.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know. Serious. So we have San Diablo churros. So this year for our 10-year anniversary, every year we probably have 15 or 20 food trucks. They're like, hey, can we come in? And I'm like, nope. Sorry, this is our game, not yours. Like, you're welcome to park out on the street. You do your thing. We're going to do our thing inside. For our 10-year anniversary, we decided to bend that rule just a little bit. So we actually created a space right where you fall out of the tower. And
Right where the scary thing is, you walk over the great.
yes, right around the corner
torture
from Torture.
chamber.
Yep. So right there, they're grilling up, and so San Diablo Churros is churros, and they do like a bacon wrapped churro dog and like some really
shit.
good stuff. And then I found this lady. I'm gonna totally plug this really quick for anyone that's in Utah. So
Please.
it's called USA Unique Spices Always USA. So she does like typical food and then Americanizes it. So she's this Iraqi lady who takes like what's an example of what they do? Like shawarma.
He's looking it up. What is it again?
So unique
typical.
spices always food truck.
Unique.
So she takes like shawarma,
There
right?
it
That
is.
is usually in like a sandwich, and she'll do it quesadilla style, and she'll like actually like make it into like flatbread instead, and so I reached out to all the food truck vendors in Utah, and I was like, guys, you've been asking for it. We're gonna make it happen. If you want in, let me know. And this lady sends me, and she's like, hey, I want in, and I'm gonna do a discount because I really want this to work because I think that you're my market, and I really want to do this. And I was like, yeah, okay, lady. Like, I've never seen your logo. I've never seen your truck. I
And
have
it
no
is
idea
just
what you are. But look at those
insane.
photos. She is not messing around.
Have you been? Has she been there? The first.
So she's
minute?
not. So she's actually going to come this weekend.
Okay. Okay.
So what's crazy though is that
Oh,
she
fuck,
sends
look at
this.
that.
So she sends this to me on email, and then I'm like, all right, fine. And so one night at dinner, so Kimmy, my wife, so Kimmy and I were having
Looks
dinner.
so good.
And she's like, you're not going to believe this. I met this cutest lady today. And I was like, oh, really? What's her name? And she's like, I don't know her name, but she runs this food truck called USA Today. And I
Like,
was like,
what the fuck is going on?
what? Yeah.
She's hot. You're there.
Yeah.
Come.
So Kimmy was like, and the food was just amazing. And so she works for the University of Utah. So like the whole tower, she works at the downtown admin building. So like the whole tower is like down at this food truck, just swooning over this food. And I called her, and it's this lady with the short white hair. Her name's Rita. And I was like, I emailed her back, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, but my wife says I need to hire you, so I have to listen to my wife. So here we are. And so she's going to be there this weekend. And I have, I think, 2 weekends left for the season that are open.
Erica.
Just saying.
Just saying, I don't have a food truck, but I will fucking
Do it out of the back of a truck.
I'll whittle one. Because her food is it's
incredible.
You've
Yeah.
seen it, man. It's
Yeah.
like every time we do a show. Well, I eat like that every night, but every time we do a show, he's so excited to come and be like, "What are we having this time?"
Right?
And things you don't even.
Everything's different too. Like,
Oh, I bet.
so I hate tomatoes. I think tomatoes is the worst thing on earth. Right? It's
No
horrible.
kidding.
Yeah,
Did you eat the ones in the bowl tonight?
of course I did.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he does that here.
Right,
Everything about it, he's like, I don't even like that shit, but I'm eating it, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
bro.
This is-"
She made the best tomato soup. Coming from a man that doesn't even like tomatoes,
Right?
the best tomato soup and grilled cheese.
I think
Oh,
you got something. You got to run with that.
Dude,
Run with it.
she's truly an amazing cook, and behind the scenes is always never in front of the cameras. She's never known, but people that come here know who this human is, and she makes this all possible. And I sit,
awesome.
I get to flap my gums and be the one that looks like I'm doing the shit.
Yep.
At what age do you let your daughter go through the Fear Factory?
She's already been through.
Really?
How old
And
is she?
4.5. So, okay, so let's
You
talk
got to
about
start it right.
let's talk about this. So I see people that bring their kids through at like 9 or 10 months, and I literally in the queue line, I'm like, listen, I appreciate you wanting to be a great parent and wanting to get your kids started early, but there are decibels inside of this space with concussion rooms that are going to make your child deaf. You cannot bring your kid in here. And some people have just pushed back, and they're like, no,
They're going.
I want to bring them. And I'm like, I'm going to ask you one more time. I will give you tickets to come back. Some lady last year was like, she drove down from, I don't know,
St. George or something.
Cedar City, but it wasn't Cedar City. It was like right outside of there. And I was like, I don't even know where you're from. And she's like, it's like 3.5 hours. It's by St. George. Drove all the way here for her kid's birthday.
Damn.
Had like a 4-month-old carrying in her arms, like no carrying. So of course, and you're going up and down 18 flights of steps.
The steps are brutal.
So and as we all know as humans, like we're going to do the best. But if we fall down the stairs, who do we catch first?
You're in trouble.
We catch ourselves, like, because we're bracing, which means you drop the baby over 6 stories.
God, and they're metal.
So I was like, no, I'm sorry, you can't come in. I was like, listen, I'll comp, I'll do anything you want. So I ended up giving her free tickets. I upgraded them to VIP just so that she could drive home and come back without the baby or like do something else. But so Aspen, so my daughter, so there's a whole other story there of why she's called Aspen. So I'm really careful to raise her unbiased. Very careful. Like other than a Fear Factory logo, like there's no like skeleton stuff, there's no skulls, there's no monsters. Like I'm really, really careful. If you were to go into my home, you would have no idea that I'm connected to Halloween, period. We go to kid, and I'm like, hey, do you want to like pick out some clothes? And she's going through the aisle, and at this point, she's probably like 3, 2.5, 3. She's just barely learning how to walk, and she's doing her thing, and she goes through, and there's a skeleton doing the dap, and she's like, that one. I'm like, shut up, kid. Like,
We're all black or
there's 30 other
something.
30 other shirts. Like, pick something else. And she's like, no, I want this one. And she's got this hoodie that's got skull bones on it.
Love it.
And I'm like, where in the hell
It's
does
her-
this come from?
You.
Yeah.
It's in your DNA.
It's the weirdest thing. And I'm so purposeful about not raising her that. So now she's 4.5 years old. So her preschool, so all the kindergartners, we do a tour. So that they all come over because it's literally like down the street. So they're always like, oh my God. So they get to see it on the bus. So we bring them in and we just do a little walk outside, like when the sun's up, so it doesn't freak them out too much. So, we have these skeletons that hang from our tower, from the catwalk that you walk across, and she calls them her silly, scary skeletons. And so every single time we'll pull on property, and like if I drive by, then I get in trouble, and I have to roll the window down, and she has to say, "Hey,
Talk
you
to him.
silly, scary skeletons, get down from there!" Because I told her, I'm like, well, they're breaking in, like they're trying to break into the haunted house, like that's what they're. And she's like, they're thieves. I'm like, yes, they're like thieves. So she loves it, and like she loves coming on deck, and she loves seeing things. She still gets scared, and so I'm like very careful about what she sees and doesn't see. She's never come to a live show. I definitely wouldn't let that happen yet. But this year, she's like, you're opening the haunted house? Do I get to see the haunted house? Like, do I get to see with the lights on this time? And I'm just like, shut up.
Please, no, you're not old enough.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it.
God, you're
But-
4.
Yeah, crazy.
She wants it.
I know. She'll
Good for
love it.
her.
She's gonna love it. I
Good.
can't wait.
You're a good dad.
I do
can
my best.
tell. You are. And in this facility that you're running is it's unbelievable. Everybody go there. Just go there. I'm sure it's not like my audience is just the biggest thing in the world, but they're so loyal. These people live for this show. They
love it.
They do what we say.
Yes.
Drink this, buy this.
Follow through.
They can find it. They can get it.
Yeah. What, mountainhightry.com.
They can order it. Okay.
Yeah.
So they can go online and
Yeah.
order it. Watch for this. You watch.
Okay.
It's going to happen.
All right.
People are going to do this.
I'm gonna give you a cut.
This stuff is incredible. Everything you touch is incredible. We can tell that, man. I'm so down with anything you're involved in.
We try.
We're
That's
very,
all you can do. You just try.
That's it. You only got one time around this bitch, man. It's
Exactly.
like, make it count.
Yeah. Right.
You guys are crushing this and the Fear Factory, whatever else you're involved in, I'm sure is the same way. I'm so thankful for your time to take a little bit out of your psycho day to make it
Ditto.
happen here.
Yeah.
So thank you. Sorry for missing that last message. I was going crazy in here trying to make this ready.
Are you kidding?
And
Like, don't worry.
I seen your message when I was in the shower. Before I got in the shower, I was like, oh, shit. Should I send it to him? He's in the driveway.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. I'm
So,
happy to be here.
man,
And thanks again for the invite. Thanks for the plug. Thanks for the food. Thanks for being here. It's awesome.
Thanks for coming, man.
Totally.
We're so thankful to have you guys. Closing the show out. You know where we're all at. You're here. You're at our show. You're watching us. You know where to find us all. Please go see the Fear Factory if you haven't ever done it. It'll change your life. Even if you don't like haunted houses, it's so worth it. God, it's so worth it. I know they can hear it in my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I love that place. And remember, the only thing that is important is what you do with your own life. So go get scared. God damn it. Love you guys.
Love it.